she kept to herself a wording. She saw the need for a friend indeed to all those deserving. She travels the world through your eyes. She listens and sometimes cries. She wants to know what makes you whole and cares without disguise. According to Lindsay, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worries. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Lindsay, according to Lindsay, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worry. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Lindsay, she wants to know what it is all about. According to Lindsay, oh, welcome here while we all just figure life out. So sit back and yak, smile and laugh, have a couple or two. Lindsay is coming on right now and she welcomes you. Let's hear life according to Lindsay. It started with a chat, just a few of us there, talking about life and the stuff we all share. From kids to chaos and the mess we make, we bonded over laughs and every mistake. From bad hair days to a joke or two, no topic was off limits, nothing taboo. We laughed till we cried, had each other's backs. A sisterhood formed in the middle of tracks. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From late night texts to early morning calls, we've been through it all, big and small. From talking fashion to the crazy stuff, we've got each other's backs when life gets tough. We send memes and pics of the day gone wrong and the occasional "can you believe this song?" We share everything, no secrets to keep, like a wild dream that we never want to sleep. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From Tennessee, where the music plays, to sweet tea nights and lazy days. From England's hills to the country roads, our sisterhood's a bond that forever grows. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. Through the highs and the lows, we've been there. When the world feels heavy, we just don't care. We're loud, we're bold, we're a little bit wild, but always there for each other, with hearts so mild. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. So here's to the sisters who make life so sweet. We've got each other, no defeat. From the chat to the heart, it's all the same. We're a sisterhood forever in the friendship game. According to Lindsay, the eclipse is to blame, but truly the Lord brought us together and we'll never be the same. So here's to the sisters who make life so sweet. We've got each other, no defeat. From the chat to the heart, it's all the same. We're a sisterhood forever in the friendship game. According to Leanie, the eclipse is to blame. But truly the Lord brought us together, and we'll never be the same. From the highs and the lows, we've been there. When the world feels heavy, we just don't care. We're loud, we're bold, we're a little bit wild, but we're always there for each other with hearts so mild. Sisterhood at the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. So here's to the sisters who make life so sweet. We've got each other, no defeat. From the chat to the heart, it's all the same. We're a sisterhood forever in the friendship game. According to Lainey, the eclipse is to blame. But truly the Lord brought us together, and never be the same. It started with a chat, just a few.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Lainey. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Misty Blue. Good to see you. Good to see everybody in chat. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys so much. Do us a favor, hit the like for us. We appreciate you being here. Come down and chat. Let us know what you think about this case as we go through it. And we'll get on with it here pretty quick. Mag, you been doing okay?
I'm doing not too bad. I've been cleaning like a lunatic today. What about yourself?
Same. Well, I have a whatnot live later tonight. So I have been pricing everything and doing all that, getting ready for that. So I'll be going live on whatnot as well. Listen, as soon as I get my teeth, I will tell y'all where on whatnot I am, but I don't want to show everybody because I show my face on whatnot. I don't want to show everybody my, how old
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But
so
listen,
I'm not telling you guys how to find me.
I want to know what time UK. So inbox me, whatever it's called, message me and let me know what time UK. Because if I'm awake, I want to come and watch.
You haven't heard about this case, Misty? Well, welcome in. Oh, wow. This is what we're doing, guys. So this is one of the major cases right now that is trending in the U.S. because we're finally going to court. Opening statements are tomorrow morning. They have seated the jury. We have a total of 18 jury members. That's, of course, 12 that are actually seated with 6 who are alternates. So I have always been interested in this case since it happened, and I've been waiting for this one to go to trial. I was scared to death that they were going to take a plea deal, so I didn't want to make it. Hey, Ma Barb.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Misty.
I didn't want to put it out there that that's what we're going to do, and kind of like the Koberger case that pissed us all off. We spent months going over that case and inside and out only to get a plea deal on it. That was just a total drag. Oh, man, I don't think any of us are over that.
No, I'll never go.
I don't think anybody is over that, not being able to see a trial on that, but it is what it is, I guess. And I think that's the way in the U.S. the trials are going. I mean, there's going to be a lot of plea deals, and I mean, it saves money all the way around, especially for the states and stuff like that, for people who can't afford a lawyer. I get it. But I think there's got to be some kind of qualification that's different for a plea deal. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, that's what we're doing. We're going over this case today. For people who don't know what we're talking about and what case we're going to be covering. Like I said, tomorrow opening statements start and the trial will start tomorrow morning. We will be here live. We're saying every day that trial's going on, but sometimes life happens. Yeah, to all of us, so, but keep checking the community page, because if for some reason we have to cancel trial for that day, we can maybe make it where I'm just streaming the live, but one of us or both of us may not be here. I don't know. It's kind of hard to foresee the future. I've already told Maggie that there's 2 days this week while the trial is going on that I have some appointments that I have got to get to. So Maggie will be covering half of it by herself. And then, so we'll just play it by ear, but we're going to definitely try to do this trial every day. Like I said, maybe we won't be on stage, but the trial will still be shown here on our channel.
So before you start, can I just go take something up with you? Do you know the time for tomorrow? You're saying morning, but it's 2 p.m. for you.
To what?
You're saying you're saying about the trial start tomorrow morning, but tomorrow we've got it set for your 2 p.m.
No, we're going to have to, I think it starts at 9 o'clock. I'll check it just to make sure. I think it's your 2 p.m.
So it's going to be
10, 11, 12,
2 for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll change that.
Miss Barbara, your name is in green as far as I could see.
I can see green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's green.
Yeah,
green. And thank you for your membership. Thank you, Misty Blue, for your membership. We appreciate all of you guys being here. All right, so the Lindsay Clancy case, let me just tell you guys this. They have already taken court off for Tuesday. So tomorrow we are going to get opening statements. Tuesday, they are not going to have court because somebody who is very needed in the courtroom, whether it's the judge or one of the lawyers, already had a pre-engagement. I think it's a funeral. So they are not having court on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it will start again. So we don't know what else is going to happen tomorrow. Are they going to do? Are they going to do opening statements and then go ahead and just start the trial, or will they just do opening statements and then call it a day and then start the trial again on Wednesday? We don't know. That's how trials go. It's how they go. Not on my screen, wonder why. Nope, Miss Barbara, you are there as a member. You are green Definitely on the screen. Yes, ma'am. And you're right. You were the very first member ever. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to cover what happened in case you haven't heard of this case from beginning to end. I've got plenty brought up for us to be able to get a hold of this one. And so Maggie, let's go ahead. Fair use disclaimer, Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowance to this content to be used for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So don't come at us, YouTube. We're just a little channel here, just trying to, do our thing, not making any noise over here. We're real quiet, so don't come at us. That scrolling across the bottom, we will eventually get it into chat as well.
It's in chat, Lee.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank y'all for being here. Let's get started. Let me show you guys this, because I always like to remember, we're going to be listening to the trial and who's on trial and why she's on trial. Sometimes during trials, so the victims get lost in the trial, right? So I want to do this before we do anything else. Let's bring up this one. Let's bring this up. I don't know if you guys can you guys see that?
Yeah, it's
Maggie?
okay. If you can make it bigger, that'll be great, but it's fine.
Okay, let me see if I can, because it's as big as it is on my screen. May I have to go back over here? Hold on. Let's see what's going on.
I don't know whether if you can shut that down on the right where there's writing.
Okay, there it is. All right, you guys. These are, and all four of these are victims in this case. The man in the middle, obviously, is the father of the three children who were murdered by their mother, Lindsay Clancy. The father's name is Patrick Clancy, and we're going to go into what led up to these children's lives being taken from them. Sadly, the father is the one that found them, and the mother. If you can see my cursor, this right here is little Cora, you guys. She was, I wrote it all down in the description. She was what she fought, oh, y'all, listen, I get dates, numbers, names, the whole thing messed up in my head. So let me look again, because I absolutely do not want to mess up, especially anything that comes to the victims. Okay, so this is Cora. She is 5 years old. This right here is Dawson, and he is 3 years old at the time of his death. And this is Callan. Baby Callan was 8 months, 8 months at the time of his death. The mother is standing trial for murder in the way of using exercise cords to strangle her children. Sadly, well, not sadly, there's a couple of stipulations that the father here, Patrick, asked the courts for, and one was that the 911 call would not be played for any of us or anybody in the courtroom to hear, other than the judge, the attorneys, and the accused. Okay, I kind of get that. I mean, because you guys, the 911 was actually called twice. I don't know if he meant to hang up or what. I remember hearing the 911 when this was happened. I don't know if any of you guys do. There is on court TV, and I'm not sure if I pulled it up or messed it up or whatever, what's being released, because the judge has granted, no, we won't see any autopsy pictures. I agree with that. We don't need to see those. We won't see any pictures of the kids, of course, in their deaths. We won't see, and we will not hear the 911. Now, the 911 call, you can find it out there. I went looking for it because I was willing to play it in its entirety, because I think you can hear the mother actually talking in the 911 call. And I think as we cover this case, it would be good to hear there's a lot of evidence, right? That's usually said in a 911 call, a lot of evidence. And one being that one thing that I when I was doing my research on this, Maggie, is that she told him exactly. So after she took her children down to the basement and murdered them, she slit her own wrists to kill herself. And then apparently went upstairs. I'm guessing she did it around the kids, but maybe not. We're going to talk about that in a minute. There was blood found around the children. And then there was also blood found in her upper bedroom upstairs, to which the door was locked when her husband got there. And then
that's where she jumped from.
And she jumped from there. And paralyzed herself. They're saying from like the clavicle down is where she's paralyzed now, but she was trying to unalive her own self, and she failed at it. So here we are.
Yeah, I think it's important if you play the 911 call.
Yes,
I think it's part of it. I think you need to hear it.
I think you need to hear it too. Just I think there's a lot of evidence in a 911 call, and the lack of evidence in a 911 call.
Definitely.
So right now she's claiming that, of course, she's claiming insanity.
Hmm.
And she was insane, all right. I don't know which way, but
Yeah,
whether, I don't know. I'm on the fence totally with this one,
me
how this
too.
one should go. Maybe what we hear more of today and in the courtroom will be able to all come to a conclusion. Listen, you don't have to agree with anything I think. I don't have to agree with anything you think. You don't have to agree with anything Maggie thinks. Hell, half the time me and Maggie don't agree on nothing, but we
Hmm.
respect each other's right to have a different opinion. And as long as
Yeah,
we can present it as adults and not attack each other, then I'm cool with it. Have a different opinion. That causes discussion. And
yeah,
I love
definitely.
discussions.
Me
So,
too.
the one thing that she's claiming now that was not heard on the 911 calls, you guys, is that she supposedly heard a man's voice telling her
Mm.
to kill her children. Okay. That's a problem for me because she told him everything else. She told him that she,
Every
just
step of the way,
every
she,
step
I
of the
mean,
way, she told everything else, but it's in the
she
last
waited.
hour.
She timed him going out, asked him to go somewhere. She timed how
Yes.
long he'd be, so she had time to do it. She's it done, but it's I'm still conflicting.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. So in the last hour, the defense has pulled out that what had happened was she heard a man's voice tell her to kill her children. Now I'm going to show you where she has seen many psychiatrists, many counselors, things like that. Some people reported that she was on 13 different psych medications, whether that was for psychological reasons or if it was for anxiety or both. But some people are saying, and this I couldn't get until we get to court, we're not going to get a full thing on it. Some people are saying she was not on those 13 meds all at the same time. They were just trying them. And if you've been on any kind of psychology meds or anxiety meds, you know that some work better than others and some don't work at all. So it's like you have to give it a couple months to figure out what's working and what's not, right? So we also know that she did suffer through postpartum depression. I could not find anywhere if she suffered through postpartum depression with all of her children or just the baby Callan.
I
I
think it was
don't
just
know.
baby Callum. She was fine with the other kids. She
Okay.
was absolutely fine.
Okay. So, if that's the case, because I was wondering if she was suffering postpartum depression with the other ones to the point of psychosis, of thinking of taking her own life or harming her children, what's the point in having more children? That was a problem that I had with the Andrea Yates crime where she drowned all five of her children. She had never gotten out of postpartum depression before she was pregnant again. At some point, somebody, her husband should have said, "Look, we're not having any more babies," but the it was their religion. They just believed that they would have, and it's a terrible situation that five babies lost their lives before somebody got some help. So let me just give you a little bit of clip it. I've got some remarks from the father who finally came out last year and spoke publicly about this. I have got remarks from her own parents, who, by the way, I will tell you, her own parents and her ex-husband. This is her ex-husband now. They divorced, and he is now married. So Lindsay Clancy's job, you guys, was she was a nurse in labor and delivery, which
Yeah.
is odd. The lady he married is a doctor in
I
her
didn't know they
practice.
divorced.
Yes,
And he
they divorced.
remarried.
Hmm.
Wow.
He remarried, and he is now
How
married
long
to a
after?
doctor. Get this,
Mhm.
who is now the doctor is a doctor for women who struggle. I forget what it's called. Oh, infertility. She's an infertility doctor. Um, mind blown. Mind blown.
Mm.
Now you make up your own decision on what, I mean, they got married, I think, in 2023. Or did this happen in 2023?
No, this was
Anyways,
23, wasn't it?
okay, so he got married shortly after. So, I mean, in my book, this is only a 3-year crime. So we're right here. And in my book, I think that's having lost all of your children and your wife, basically, you divorced your wife. Um, I mean, for me, that would be too soon to remarry, but I don't know this type of grief, so I cannot judge this man. Even
Um,
even though I want to
I'm
judge him,
looking at it. Sorry,
I want
Liz.
to I want to judge him for a lot of reasons in this case. I really do. I really do. I That's just me. That's just me. So we're going to hear from quite a bit today. So I just want to again remember the 3 victims, these sweet little babies. Cora 5, Dawson 3, and Callan is 7 to 8 months on that. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you guys so much for being there. We just hit the thumbs up for us. That's all we ever ask here. Welcome in. We're going to be covering this trial starting tomorrow from beginning until end. We hope you will join us. All right, let me take this down and we will get started on. Hi, Brittany. Good to see you, Love Bug. Hi, Bert. Good to see you. All right. All right. Oh, Miss Barbara's already made up her mind. I'd like to know what it is. No,
tell us,
listen, yeah, no judgment whatsoever. Brittany says, I think if she had postpartum depression before, she should have been prepared for it with the next child. That is right. And at some point, if that's the case, because it'll come out in court, right? We'll know. They're going to bring all her records. So if she had any kind of postpartum, don't you have to hold the spouse as well accountable for another pregnancy? Now, I will tell you, I had postpartum with my first, okay? And it lasted for about 3 weeks. And I was told about it. I mean, I was very young when I had my first baby. And my mom did educate me on what postpartum depression was before I had my baby. And she's like, this is what I want. Now, why she did that, I don't know if she had it or what, but I did for about 3 weeks. And when I got the blues, I immediately told my doctor. And they didn't put me on anything. They said, back then they just called it the blues, right? The blues. Yeah. And we know now that it can far surpass the blues. I can tell you that mine was definitely the blues, because when it would bother me, morning Trashy.
Hiya, Trashy.
When it would bother me is when my mom and my husband left. When they left me for the day, and I was scared of hospitals. It was the first time I'd ever been admitted to a hospital. And so I'm not sure if that played into it, that just I was alone. Pink Peony, hello.
Hiya, Pink.
Good to see you too, my friend. So we don't know. And you guys, I went on to have 3 more children after that and never once had postpartum, which is just odd.
So you call it postpartum, we call it postnatal depression.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So just in case anyone else, that's what we call it. Miss Barbara said she blames the doctors. Now I'm more swinging to the mental health. She didn't get the help she needed. That's what I was like, where I was at one point. But that's why I want to refresh and I want to hear what comes out, because I'm on the fence right now, as I've said. But I did get to a point where I feel she's been failed.
Well, you guys, I have the timeline of when she saw the doctors. So then it looks like she tried. It just looks like somebody should have recognized and had her hospitalized for however long.
Wasn't she in a couple of days before it happened?
Yeah, and that wasn't enough. Not for this type of stuff. Not when you're already thinking about harming yourself. You get put in a hospital for a while, and you should be. Brittany says, I had it with both of mine. I got on medication for a few months, and then I was all right. Good. See, see, and this is stuff that we really do need to. We're seeing this more and more where kids are getting killed by their parents and by women, especially. You know, you got to wonder what kind of psychosis they're dealing with. Possum, good to see you, love bug. All right,
Hi,
so I just
Poss.
wanted to bring this up because I don't want to forget who the victims are, and um, it's so easy to do in a trial. So this is who we're talking about. In some places, you'll see the kids' pictures blocked out. Some people have a problem showing them because they are minors. I have no problem at all showing them. They are deceased. This is the reason why we're here. Their sweet little faces need to be remembered. That's the way that I look at it. All right, so let me pull this one down, Maggie, and we will get started on exactly what went on here, what happened, why. Do we ever really get the why? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. All right, let me do this. So I
Hello,
do have
everyone. Please hit the like and sub up if you would. Pull up a seat anyway, get a cuppa. And
they are beautiful
to this
children.
case.
Absolutely.
Oh, they
All
are
right.
gorgeous kids.
All right. This is coming out of Boston, you guys. This is 25 News. I guess the station is 25 News. And this was just done on February. This was done on February 23rd. I'm sorry, February the 10th, 2023. And this is shortly after it happened. And so we've got to start from the beginning. And that's what we're going to do here. Maggie, just because of my lisp, do you mind reading this for us? Because
not at all. Can you make it bigger?
I cannot make it any. It's covering my whole screen, sister.
It's absolutely. Let's see if I can make it any bigger for me to read.
If not, I'll read it. That's fine.
Okay. Let's see. I'll have a go. Is it Plymouth, Mass? Is that where I am?
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Yes.
Yeah. Duxbury mother Lindsay Clancy started her day on Tuesday, January 24, as a mother would by taking one of her 3 children to the paediatrician for a morning appointment, according to court documents and a local prosecutor. There was no immediate concerns about the demeanour or behaviour of the 32-year-old Clancy, who left the paediatrician's office with her daughter and returned home, where she took her children outside to play in the snow. Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Sprague said in Plymouth District Court on Tuesday. Once outside, her children built a snowman. Clancy texted photographs of the children playing to her mother and to her husband, Patrick Clancy. Nothing in the text was out of the ordinary. But later that day, prosecutors alleged that Clancy, using exercise bands, fatally strangled her 3 children, 5-year-old daughter Cora, her 3-year-old son Dawson, and her 8-month-old baby Callum. The elder children were pronounced dead that day. The infant died 3 days later. On Tuesday, Lindsay Clancy was zoomed into Plymouth District Court and arraigned on charge of murder, strangulation or suffocation, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, an exercise band in the death of her 3 children. During the arraignment, Clancy lay in hospital.
Let me move it down. Okay, go ahead. Right there.
Right, okay. There's nothing there.
Right here?
It just says, no, it just says she lays in hospital, and then I can see a bit of a picture of her. Just the top of her head.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Lindsay tried to kill herself by jumping out of a second-story window at her home and suffered serious spinal injuries that left her paralysed, said her defence attorney, Kevin Reddington. He said in court that Lindsay had been fighting mental health issues and had been over-medicated as she sought treatment. This is not a situation that was planned by any means. This is a situation that clearly is a product of mental illness, Reddington argued in court. Below is a timeline of events on January 24 as outlined in court documents and by Sprague in court. 4:02 p.m. Lindsay Clancy searched Kids My Relax on her cell phone. 4:13 p.m. Lindsay searched Take House. I'm struggling to read this now for
Okay.
some reason, Lee.
Take
Sorry.
out 3. It's okay. Take out 3B. So 3B is the restaurant that she was looking at. Do you want me to finish up, Maggie?
Say again, Lee.
Do you want me to finish it up?
Yeah, if you could. I don't know what it is. It's very tiny to me, and I've got it as big as I can.
Okay. At 4:13 p.m., Lindsay searched Take Out 3B on her cell phone. She used Apple Maps on her phone to determine the time it would take someone to travel from her home in Duxbury to 3B in Plymouth, according to the court documents. At 4:47 p.m., Lindsay searched for the CVS website and called CVS at 189 Summer Street in Kingston and asked the manager if they had children's Miralax. At 4:53 p.m., Lindsay texted her husband, Patrick, who was working in his home office in the basement of their home. She texted, any chance you want to do takeout from 3B? I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day. Patrick texted back, yes. Lindsay asked him to check the menu. At 5:06 p.m., Patrick asked her what she's going to order for food. She responded that she'd get the Mediterranean Power Bowl. Patrick responded that he wanted the scallop and pork belly risotto. At 5:10, Lindsay called the 3B restaurant in Plymouth to order food and gave Patrick's name for pickup. At 5:15, Lindsay texted the words Pedialax liquid stool softener to her husband, and she sent her husband out to run these errands. At 5:32 p.m., surveillance shows Patrick Clancy at the CVS on Summer Street in Kingston, where he went to the children's medication aisle. At 3:33, a call from Patrick to Lindsay's cell was unanswered. At 5:34 p.m., Lindsay called Patrick. The call lasted 14 seconds. He confirmed with Lindsay which medication to get. He checked out the register and left CVS 3 minutes later. At 5:54 p.m., Patrick arrived at the 3B restaurant in Plymouth, paid for the food, and headed home. At 6:09 p.m., after arriving home, there was silence, and Patrick did not see or hear Lindsay or the children. Patrick called Lindsay again while looking for her. The call was not answered. Patrick Clancy went to his bedroom on the second floor and found the door locked. He saw blood on the floor and noticed an open window, according to court documents. He ran outside to the backyard and found Lindsay on the ground, conscious, with cuts to her wrist and neck, and he called 911. He asked Lindsay, "What did you do?" She responded, "I tried to kill myself and jumped out the window." During the 911 call, Patrick was heard asking his wife, "Where are the kids?" He later told the police that she replied, "In the basement." When emergency crews arrived, Patrick asked them to stay with Lindsay because he had to find his kids, according to the court documents. While still on the 911 call, Patrick was heard entering the home and heading to the basement. "Guys," Patrick called out. He began screaming in shock and agony as he found his children, who were on the floor, according to court documents. Each child had the exercise band that was used to strangle them tied around their necks when the father found them, said Sprague, the prosecutor. Pardon me. Sprague said, "Lindsay, you can if we want to. Let me pull this up."
Okay. Sprague said to Lindsay planned the murders of her children, and she used Apple Maps to make sure she would have enough time to strangle each child before her husband returns from where she had sent him, Sprague said. Lindsay is a danger to herself and others. She planned these murders, gave herself the time and privacy needed to commit the murders, and then strangled each child in the place where they should have been safe, their home. She did so with deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty.
All right, that's the end of that one. There's a couple takeaways, Mags, that I would like to talk about this, and you could see what's going on in chat right now because I've still got the screen up in front of me.
Yeah, bear with me. I've just loaded it this time.
Just want to see if chat, if any of this rang like, wait, what to you? Because there are two things here that I'm like, wait, what? And
Barbara says, what I read, she had seen a number of doctors. They even prescribed Ambien along with other medications. That alone could screw up lots of people.
All right, let me go up here. This, and I read a little bit about it, you guys, but we're not going to know until we get to court, of course. Where was it said? Hold on, let me find it.
Is it on this same one? Is that the same one? It's very, very pale,
Yeah.
isn't it? I had to give my eyes time to adjust.
Hold on just a second.
Let me just clear my glasses.
Hold on, I'm trying to find exactly the first thing that I was like, wait, what? And maybe I read it somewhere else. I don't know. But she's being charged with, 3 murders, right? She's being charged with the 3 murders of her children. But one thing that rang out, and I could have swore we just read it on here. Anyways, she's being charged with, of course, the murders and stuff. But did you also see on there that she's being charged with battery using a deadly weapon?
Yeah, what was that? I thought they meant the exercise bands.
Now, I did hear a lawyer once say, I don't remember what case this was on, but I heard a lawyer once say anything could be called a deadly weapon if it's used to kill someone. Meaning that, he gave an example that I would never think would cause someone to die, but he was right. But anything could be used as a deadly weapon. So they could be talking about using the exercise bands as a deadly weapon because in essence, that's what they died from, no matter what their injuries are. But I have also seen places, and I think I brought it up, where it says, like I told you guys in the beginning, there's blood. So either we know that she cut herself in the neck and on her wrist, and then ended up in her bedroom where there's more blood. So there is blood found all downstairs in the basement. Did she start cutting her own self there? And went up to the bedroom like, okay, I'll just go jump out a window. And so the blood trail, that's how her husband, broke down that door because he saw the blood trail, by her door. And did she go up there, finish cutting herself, or it just was blood? But they say that there was blood all over one of the children. I read that on something. I don't know for sure because I could not verify it.
No, I did. Yeah.
Did you verify that?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, just to be truthful, because I usually read all the court documents, but the court documents were pretty much just released recently because they were finalizing everything with the courts. And so there's over 200 pages of court documents, and I didn't have time to go through them. Like I said, I knew I wanted to cover this trial, but I didn't want to start going through everything if they were just going to do a plea deal with us again, because that just pissed me off in Koberger's case. So my question is, some people were saying with the blood that was found all over at least one child, and remember, the dad in this case, he motioned the court to please not listen to the 911 calls, not let us listen to it. Of course, the jury's going to hear it, the judge is going to hear it, Lindsay's going to hear it, and so is her lawyers. But the rest of us, it's not going to be played in court. Like they're going to have earplugs so they could hear that, right? And I don't remember. I remember hearing the 911 call when this first happened. It came out, and now you can find it, but they have taken out all of his words, so you can hear only what the operator, the 911 operator, is asking him. You could still pull that up. You cannot hear him or Lindsay talking at all, because on the original 911 tape, you can hear Lindsay talking to him, because remember, he did not go down to the basement, even though she told him her kids were in the basement. He did not go down to the basement until 911 got there. And so he asked them, please work with her. She's got a stab to the neck, stabs on her arms. She came out the window. Obviously, she can't move. She's paralyzed now. And he went by himself looking for the kids. And it is all on that 911 tape where he discovers them. So my question is, did she stab one of the children as well? We're going to find out from an expert how long approximately it would take to unalive someone, to kill someone, not just a child, anyone, about how long it takes for the heart to stop beating when they're actually being choked. It is longer than you think. Not only that, it takes longer than you think for someone to pass out, even if they're choking on, say, a hot dog. And the only reason I know that is because I had to do CPR on someone who was choking on a freaking hot dog that he knew he wasn't supposed to be eating. He lived to tell about it, and I lived to give him hell about it, because I was like, you're not even supposed to be eating that, so stop it. But anyways, it takes especially to the victim, it takes a long time to pass out, because first you pass out from the lack of oxygen, and then eventually you die, right? So it takes, just the sadness of the however many seconds it took, which I think it took the guy who I did the CPR on. I ended up, he was so big, he's like 6'4", and he was so big around, I couldn't get my arms around him. So I laid him on the floor. I told him, get on the floor, and I had to do compressions into his stomach. And y'all, thank God that once I started doing that, that piece of hot dog flew out of his throat, and then he started coming to. So, but it took him a while, even to me, to pass out, because he had to get up from the table. He had to walk to me. I turned him around, try to get my hands around him to start doing, the compressions to get it out of his throat. And I couldn't do it. So I had to lay him down, get him down, so I could do, I could push against him. So I just remember his big eyes looking at me. Here's my question. I know how it felt trying to get that out of his throat, and Joe's looking at me. You know what I mean? And then he passes out. It felt like forever. It felt like, could you imagine those babies are looking in the eyes of their mother?
Oh, I know.
It doesn't matter if it's for 3 seconds. I know it didn't happen that quick, though. It doesn't matter. So it will all come out in court exactly if the children were, if anybody was stabbed or a knife used on anybody.
It's the other kids that went on, isn't it?
Yeah, that will all come out in court. Now, that could be another reason why he didn't, the father did not want his voice heard. I can imagine it's the worst time of his life. All right, I want to bring this up to you guys, and this will be a video from the same news station. Once again, we're using this for fair use. We're floating it on the bottom of our screen. It has been floated through chat. This is News 25 coming out of Boston, I think this one is. Boston, Massachusetts. So this one, we're just going to play it through and let them do the talking. They're going to give us the timeline of accused of planning the murders too. Now, if I had to choose right now, I mean, she had the wherewithal to Google how long everything was going to take to get to the CVS and then onto the restaurant, then back. She had the wherewithal to do that. She had the wherewithal to not just murder one child. That was done. Then she got the second child, then the third child, right? And we do know that the baby survived for 3 days in the hospital. They knew he wasn't going to live, but he still was. He was kept alive for 3 days in the hospital. We don't know in what order these children were murdered, and I'm just calling it like it is. They were murdered by their mother while she survived. Damn, I wish we'd have just stabbed herself first. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
my
go ahead, Max.
sorry.
No,
my one issue is what keeps holding me back is when she came to in the hospital, the mother, Lindsay Clancy, when she came to, her first words, what was said. Now, I mean, you're going to see this anyway, or you're going to hear it, so I'll leave that there. I don't want to, you know,
no, you could go ahead and you can go ahead and say it. We can give teasers, and we'll hear it again.
So she says, "Do I need a lawyer?"
That's right.
That was her
Those are
first words. Now I've
That's
got
right.
a problem with that. That's what is the one thing is stopping me from believing, because I believe if you're hearing a voice, you don't know what this voice is saying to her apart from kill your kids. She could have been absolutely terrified.
Mhm.
In her head, she's planning it because it's got to be done. She's trying to work out how she can do it without being disturbed. That can happen when you're in a psychosis, state. I do believe that. I do believe in postnatal depression, postpartum, what you call it.
Absolutely, it's real.
Yeah, and at that
That's
to say,
Go ahead, Max.
no, sorry, go on, Liz.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just I just got a problem that is just stops me dead when she
Right.
recalled that was the first thing she said.
Mm-hmm. Just adding. So right now, just from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing right now, and it's not that I tried to bring it up this way. I didn't try to bring it up so you would just believe, oh, she's guilty, like life in prison, go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I listen, I'm not saying she didn't have postpartum depression. She had something going on. But I don't at this point believe, I'm just telling you the facts of how they're reported. At this point, and knowing exactly what she said when she first woke up, like Maggie said, at this point, I think I could have respected this woman more, Maggie, if she had done the same thing, right? Just did it all the same way and try to kill herself. And then her defense is that I couldn't bear to live anymore, and I was scared for my children to grow up without me. That I can respect more, even though it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Then claiming
But you understand that more.
Yeah, then claiming that you hurt a man and that you went psychotic. How long do psychotic episodes last? I don't know. Maybe they'll last
some
for days.
psychosis episodes can last for weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I've known someone on my next door neighbor.
Obviously, hers didn't, because she was able to talk to her husband.
Oh yeah, she was sending pictures, but
yeah,
I'm just thinking, like, before she sent him to get a food delivery, how long? Because she was in the hospital because she was having thoughts of killing the kids, so it was already there. It's out there. It wasn't something she's made up. So that's why she was in the hospital. She was crying for help. So this thought is going on in her head, and it could have been one of them where it's coming back, and because I'm sure if she'd have left the hospital, she would have still said, I've still got them thoughts. So maybe that they did leave, and then the couple of days she's home. Now she had all kinds of medication in it, so maybe that medication was messing her up big
That's
time.
true.
She
That's
wasn't
what
in
Miss Barbara
control.
said.
So she,
Yes.
right, okay. So she started hearing voices, whatever else that voice was telling her. But so she had to plan it. She had to be normal. She planned it, but not in a way like I'm saying. I don't know yet. I just don't know where I'm at with it. But in
What I
her
want to know,
defense, if it was a psychosis and she's getting told to kill her kids and it's got to be done properly, blah blah blah, or this could happen to someone else, or this, so that's why she did it like that. I don't know.
I think that's a very good point, and that's probably the only way that I'm going to believe the man talking to her, because I want to know who was the first person to hear this, because her own husband
Yeah.
was literally talking to her, and she told him that she killed the kids, and he didn't even leave her side.
Oh, he
And
left her. She'd been saying about these thoughts, and he left her to go and get food. So what's
That's
being
right.
said? Well, was he in the wrong to leave her, knowing what state she was in, what thoughts
Right.
she was having? Should he have
Well,
left her alone with the kids?
yeah, so there's that too. Is there neglect here, that something should happen to him for neglect of
Yeah.
his wife? The other thing is, I do remember him saying, and I might have it pulled up, but I do remember him saying that, fudgesicles, I forgot what he had asked her either the day before or that morning if she was still having thoughts of killing herself or harming their children, and she told him no. But as we know, psychosis goes, I don't think
That could have been a plan of his to say
yeah,
no.
right. And I don't think but I still have a problem with the whole psychosis and the man
me
thing,
too.
unless, because how would her husband not know that she's in psychosis? I think I would know if my dog was in psychosis. You know what I mean?
I think Howard now as well. I mean, as good as you're planning it out in your head, if you're seeing or hearing things, you're going to be cunning. But
and you're going to be doing something else that's weird.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing weird little signs or something, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's why I need to hear this trial and listen to things that we don't know, because there is going to be things we don't know about and what's going to come out in court, rather than make a judgment now, because I'm back and forward. As I say, it's when she woke up and what she said is stopping me. But there's a few issues, that's why I want to recap, go through it again, because it's been a long time since, I've heard the story. And I think it's important to everyone to hear it again, and to listen to this trial to find out things that we don't already know, rather than just make judgment now.
Right. All right, let me jump in chat really quick before we go on with this. They're beautiful children, Brittany says. Pink Peony said, I was adjusting to taking care of my newborn full-time at 17 years of age. It was not like babysitting where kids got picked up by 5 p.m. It was a real reality check. My parents were present. Wow, I can imagine. Miss Barbara said, what I read was that she had seen a number of doctors. They were prescribed Ambien along with other medications that alone could screw up a lot of people. Tish tosh trashy bish boshes here. How old was the baby? I'm not sure if he was 7 months or 8 months at the time of his death. I've seen it both ways.
8 months, trash.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when this broke, I was torn back then and still am. Aussie True Crime is in the house. Y'all sub up to my friend. I appreciate it so much. It's good to see you, Aussie. Let me just, we've got the fair use disclaimer going. That's awesome. Thank you so much. A relative's kid was choking on a grape. Emergency services thought it was a prank call, supposedly. The kid ended up in a coma. That's really sad. That's terrible. Terrible. They should be held liable for that. Brittany said she planned it out. I think if she was in psychosis, couldn't she have done it while her husband was there? Yeah, true. I mean, he was working wherever his home office was. She could have taken him in the basement one by one and I mean, he wouldn't have known. I
Didn't
wouldn't
she
think.
say he was working in the basement
Is that where
when
the
she
home
texted
office
him?
was? I wasn't
I don't
sure.
know. She just
Yeah.
said, well, that's where she says he was when she texted him, who was
Oh, okay.
working in the basement. Yeah.
So that must be where the home office is. Brittany also says if she had to text him about going to get dinner, right? Good to see everybody. All right, let's keep going with this, guys. Let's keep going. This is a timeline, you guys, of Lindsay Clancy accused of planning the murders. I wanted to.
Killing her 3 children, will remain hospitalized until she's healthy enough to be transferred to a rehabilitation center. During her arraignment yesterday, Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney told the judge.
I have to stop it right here because I need to show you guys a few things. This was her arraignment. So Lindsay Clancy was still in the hospital at this point. This guy sitting right here behind the screen, you're going to see him through this, okay? That is the dad right there. This is the dad. The anguish on his face, you guys, is heartbreaking to me. Heartbreaking. This right here would be Lindsay Clancy's lawyer, and behind him over here, you will hear her talk just a minute. This is the prosecution. And you will see Lindsay, you can't barely see it here because I stopped it, but you see the judge on a split screen with Lindsay Clancy right there. And like I said, the husband, the ex-husband now, is sitting right there. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
That she's paralyzed from the waist down from injuries that she suffered during a failed suicide attempt. Clancy appeared via Zoom from her hospital bed where she was charged with premeditated murder and strangulation. Prosecutors say that she meticulously planned for her husband to leave the house, then used exercise bands to kill her children. But her defense attorney says she was heavily medicated on antidepressants and was desperately trying to get help for postpartum depression.
This is not a situation, Your Honor, that was planned by any means. This is a situation that clearly was a product of mental illness.
She used Apple Maps to make sure she would have enough time to strangle each child before her husband returned from where she had sent him.
The judge did not set bail during yesterday's arraignment. Once Lindsay completes her medical treatment, another hearing will be held to determine where she'll go while she's awaiting trial. She's due back in court in May.
What says y'all?
Oh, that man's face was like really, you could see his pain, couldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I remember seeing that when it all first came out and watching her arraignment and stuff like that. And when I saw it, I have to be truthful. I mean, I just have to be truthful.
No, you got to be, yeah.
When I first saw it, because they showed it, I mean, they showed the whole court thing from the time they all walked into court to the time court was over, right? That's where I watched it on Court TV. And you could see him come in and sit over where he sat. And this is going to be terrible of me. And I know it's terrible of me, Maggie, but I can't help it. I just thought it was theatrics. And
no, I can understand that. Yeah. Why is he sitting there? I thought there was always a cop that sat there.
Yeah. And so I'm having to go back on memory with this. And you guys, this is 3 years ago. But I think I remember Court TV saying that he didn't want to see the screen. And I thought it odd. I was like, well, you haven't been to the hospital to see her. So of course he'd been to the hospital to see her. So what difference does it make that you're in? It was almost like
screen, yeah.
Like he needed to be seen on, like I said, this is,
he wanted to be at the front so everyone could see him.
Yeah. And he's on camera the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe is that bringing, maybe he thought that would bring, because he is standing behind his ex-wife on this. And in his mind, did he think showing his anguish would bring more sympathy for them as parents? I mean, I don't know, you guys, but I remember I just remember sitting there watching him thinking, what am I missing? Because this looks totally theatrical to me.
Yeah.
It just did. I couldn't help it. And
I mean, you saying that now is making me think the same because, yeah, I mean, you're right there. You're in it full right. You're just there. You're in it as much as she is.
Yeah. So let's do this one right here. Let me bring this up. We've already read all that. Just want to make sure
I
I'm
mean,
not double.
he's going to be hearing what's said on the screen. He's going to be, because they go over it. I mean, he should just, in my opinion, if he didn't need to be in court and he didn't want to see it on the screen, and he knew that they're going to be discussing what's on the screen, he should have stayed away.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. But I think he just had to be there just to show his support, like he's still doing
Maybe,
right
yeah.
now, I think. All right, let me bring this up. It might be a little bit redundant, but there are some things in this one that I wanted you guys to hear as well, because it's going to talk about some of the things that were unsealed and some of the evidence that was collected at the scene. So let me make this one big, and we will just listen to them talk. This is right out of Boston 25 News, you guys.
I did hear a few things, so
On
this will
Thursday, a
confirm
Duxbury
it for
mother
me.
accused of killing her 3 young children returns to court. Today, our team has been reading through
No sound, it's gone off.
released search warrants. Good evening, I'm Mark Ockerflow.
And I'm Vanessa Welch. Boston 25 News reporter Drew Curtis is in Tewksbury for us tonight, where Lindsay Clancy continues to be treated at a hospital.
Search warrant affidavits just made public in the case against Duxbury mother Lindsay Clancy alleged that the 33-year-old mother researched ways to kill her 3 small children on her cell phone. The nearly 300 pages of previously impounded documents include the reported revelation that investigators were aware, quote, Ms. Clancy used her cellular telephone and her journal to document her mental state and her feelings about her children, in addition to keeping track of her medications and researching ways to kill. The 7 medications Clancy was prescribed to, listed as Zoloft, Valium, Trazodone, Ativan, Klonopin, Prozac, and Seroquel. The evidence gathered by police on a thorough search of Clancy's Summer Street home back in late January included a series of home cameras, a bloody knife, laptops, tablets, and hard drives, as well as 3 exercise bands. Early on in the investigation, before Clancy was initially charged in Plymouth District Court via video feed from her hospital bed, police alleged that those exercise bands were used to strangle 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callan, before cutting her wrists and neck and jumping out of a window in an apparent suicide attempt while the children's father was out picking up dinner.
It's one extra weapon in the prosecution's arsenal of the point that they're trying to prove, that she really was in her right mind, meticulously planning the murder of these children.
Boston 25 legal analyst Peter Ellikin also believes that the new information doesn't negate the defense's argument that Clancy was over-medicated for her postpartum mental health issues.
Just because you're temporarily insane or incompetent at the moment doesn't mean that you're unintelligent, that you can't plan. This case is highlighting the seriousness of postpartum psychosis.
A Plymouth grand jury indicted Clancy last month on 3 counts of murder and strangulation, which is what she'll be arraigned for this coming Thursday. Her attorney has previously said she is paralyzed from the waist down. In Tewksbury, Drew Caritas for your local station, Boston 25 News.
Hit the.
What says you, Max? What says
Well,
you,
I
Kat?
had that she was looking up ways to kill, but I wasn't sure if that was just someone putting it out there. So that's just said that she did look for that. Again, that could be part of the psychosis, what she was doing. She was, I mean, surely think about it, Lainey. Would you have to go on Google to ask how can you kill? You could sit there and think of a million ways you could kill someone.
Yeah, and I do sometimes.
Oh, wow.
But no, seriously, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Like ways to I can see how, if you were looking up something specific, like how do you use rat poisoning, or how do you get people to drink? But how do you get people to drink antifreeze? But ways to kill, what you looking for the easiest, what you looking for the less painful, we don't know. But you know what I heard that man say was that there were 2 things I heard him say again. One of them was what she was. So this was right after her arraignment, right? And during that time, he didn't mention the knife. He said that she was being charged with 3 counts of murder. They didn't even mention the deadly weapon. So that one has been added on. I want to know when that was added on.
When it was added, yeah.
Right, which we will get to. And of course, the very first one I thought when he was talking, I have forgotten all about it since, because I'm old, you guys. And I'm thinking part of my brain was taken out with my teeth. I don't know. I know. It's terrible.
And,
But,
another thing as well, Lee, if, all right, so if she's in this psychosis, and if she wasn't, and she was just saying she was in psychosis, thinking she'd get off with it, she just wanted out, she wanted to be on her own, whatever, she could have, like, slit her wrist, which she did do, and throw herself on the floor, or like she's bleeding to death, whatever. But she'd thrown herself out of a window, which anyone knows that can cause spinal injuries, and that could snooker you for life, which has done. So if she was in the right mind, would she have done that? That's another thing I argue with in my brain.
Well, I wonder if she was thinking by throwing herself out the window, she would break her neck. And if you break your neck, 9 times out of 10, you're
die.
dead.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Was it genuine that she wanted to die? That's what she said. She wanted to end her life.
Yeah.
But as I say, there's a couple of issues making me go the other way, and so I just need to read all this evidence.
Well, I just thought of the second thing that he said that's going to prove a lot to us and help us understand her way of thinking, was she used her phone as a diary, and all the things that she wrote about or texted herself in her notes about how she was feeling that day and how she was feeling about the children. I think that is going to be a telltale as to was there
health, what she was thinking,
or did she just not like her kids? Did she really not want to be a mom? Because listen, we know there are plenty of people who have murdered their children because simply they didn't want to be parents. And so we're going to find all that out, right? Because all those text messages are going to be read. Tashi says, "Oh God, Sarah Quill, my best mate attempted while on that shit. It sent him mental." I have heard bad stuff about Sarah Quill. And I do know that Sarah Quill has probably some of the worst symptoms, especially for those that don't need it, because it is used for psychosis. And if you're not psychotic, it can fuck you up. Kind of like taking a thyroid pill if you don't have thyroid problems. Pink Peony says, "Mom or mother-in-law should have been present after her delivery in light of her having mental health challenges." Right. You're right, Pink Peony. I don't think
but she didn't have the mental health challenges, did she, until after the last baby? She didn't have it until afterwards. She didn't have it in the first 2 children.
But did she have any kind of depression or anxiety
I don't
prior?
think so. Not from what I heard anyway. This only happened when she had the last baby. But I don't know, Lee. I'm almost sure that's swaying me, is like she didn't have it with the kids. I mean, if you go and look at pictures, I don't think I've seen a picture of her with her kids that she doesn't look happy.
Well, that's what we all do. But, I mean, my husband was having a gallstone attack, and I made him take family pictures. He smiled pretty. Didn't know. He didn't tell me.
Yeah.
But
no, I get you. Can not every picture tells a true story.
And Jennifer, good to see you, honey.
Hiya, Kenneth. Hi, Jennifer. Not every picture tells the true story.
That's
I understand
right. That's right. Yeah.
So it just looks like a happy little home and family, doesn't it? It's
we always put our best foot forward. So I think listening to I think it's going to be pretty easy once, because we know they've got all of this evidence, right? The prosecution. I think just us listening to it we're gonna know. Well, think we know anyways.
And with the husband, backing it up. Because
I
he
just
did
think
say,
something's
they were
wrong.
happy. There was never, there wasn't a problem and all that. But what gets me is now finding out that he's married and moved on as quick as he did.
Yeah.
I mean, has it been absolutely devastated?
Yeah, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have not
No,
losing my
not
babies.
no.
No.
I just would have,
And
if
he
she,
Go ahead.
if he believed that she hadn't done it, then how could he just move on so quick? I
Right.
understand if she gets life, and then he's got to move on one day. Yeah, I get that.
So
But
in
if
order
he
to
believes it, why are they not together now?
why get a divorce that quick?
Yeah.
What and
What
I
went wrong
mean,
there?
no offense, y'all, he married up. He was married to a nurse. She kills the children, and then he divorces and marries a doctor.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not saying he had anything to do with the murder of his children. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just awfully quick and awfully
I
close.
agree.
Were
When
they?
someone's happily married, that happens.
Yeah.
She's still alive. He believes it. Why did he walk away? She hasn't
I
been given a sentence yet.
Right. She was just being arraigned, and
Yeah.
what I mean, do you turn on love and off? Now, I did see. Well, I'm going to show it to you where he finally came out and gave a statement last year. So, what I was going to say is in that statement, and I'll just let him talk for himself. Kenneth and Jennifer, so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, another sad and very unfortunate story. You are
Certainly is.
correct.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the timeline of medications. How about that? How many times she saw a doctor
Yeah.
leading up to this? Let's look at what she was on and
Maybe
how we got there.
Yeah.
Can we see everything, Maggie?
It's very small to me. I'm just going to make my screen bigger now. Bear with me.
Okay, let me take this off.
I can't see any of that writing. I can only see the coloured writing. It's all blurred to me. Absolutely blurred.
Can you see it better like that?
No.
It's because you're on your
Can
phone.
you not find anything else? I'm not on my phone.
There?
No, I can see it all, but I can't see the black writing.
Okay.
It's just blurred. I can send you the picture just to show you.
It is kind of blurred because it's like three things.
Is there nowhere else you can get it up, Lee?
This is the only place that I found it like this where it's easy to understand.
I'm just going to
let me just read it. See if you can squish it, you guys. Zoom it up. All right, I'm going to go over here and read this. I got it off of Facebook, you guys. And this is every time Lindsay Clancy sought professional help. A documented timeline of treatment and intervention efforts before January 24th of 2023. Now, January 24th, 2023 is when the murders happened. So starting back in September 2022, the year, a little over a year prior, she searched for a psychiatrist and scheduled an appointment. In October of 2022, early October, she had initial psychiatric appointment with Dr. Jennifer Tufts. On October 20th, 2022, sorry guys, reported an adverse reaction to Zoloft, meaning something was going on. Maybe she was getting hives or something, but the Zoloft definitely was not doing her any good, and she probably had some kind of reaction to it. November 16th of 2022, she visited South Shore Hospital emergency room. On November 21st, 2022, she was referred to and engaged with South Shore Perinatal Behavior Health. So perinatal, isn't that during pregnancy? So she was already pregnant at this time? Yes, she would have to have been. Because the very next, after, she was already pregnant.
Right,
because
so I've got something else up.
This is November 21st, 2022, and the thing, The murders happened on January 24th, 2023. What
If
now,
it gets
Maggie?
difficult, Lee, if it gets difficult, I've got something on ready, which is the timeline.
Okay, I'll let you, let me finish this and then I'll let you pull that one up.
Okay.
On November 25th, 2022, so she wasn't pregnant yet. It's 9 months of pregnancy. No, she was, because Callahan, I want to call him Callahan. His name was Callan. The baby was 8 months. So she was already pregnant during these visits. November 25, 2022, she was reported, now she's reporting an adverse reaction to Prozac. All right, so now she can't take the Zoloft. So obviously they took her off of that. She can't take the Prozac. So obviously they took her off of that. So when you hear people saying she was on 13 medications, not all at one time,
No.
but obviously something's going on where I don't know what the reaction she's having to it is, whether it's making her psychotic, whether it's giving her a rash. We don't know, but we'll find out. On November 28th, 3 days later, she reported disassociation and confusion after taking Remeron. So what I don't know, because you know how some medications kind of have the same kind of medications in them, but they have less of something and more of something else. I don't know if Zoloft, Prozac, and Remeron are all in the same type category of antidepressants. Yeah. So let's see, for just a couple of days, she was, or maybe 2 weeks or so, she was on Zoloft, had the reaction. Then I guess they took her off of that, went ahead and put her on Prozac. A month after that first reaction to Zoloft, she's now having a reaction to Prozac. 3 days later, they must have put her on Remeron at that appointment and took her off of Prozac for the adverse reaction. They put her on Remeron, and that caused her to start disassociating and have confusion after taking that. Now, was she on that along with Zoloft and Prozac? I don't know, because it doesn't give that timeline. And on December 4th, 2022, she called the suicide hotline seeking help. On December 5th, 2022, she was evaluated by the Aspire Crisis Team. So the next day. The day after that, December 26th, 2022, a psychiatric appointment with Nurse Joe Jaloada, attended by her husband. She had a psychiatric appointment with a nurse. Listen, if she's calling a crisis team 2 days prior, and then she's assessed by a crisis team the day before, why are they sending a nurse in to attend to her?
Yeah.
At that point, I would have said, at that point, I think I would have said, I'm pretty sure we need to see an MD at this point. I understand you're a nurse practitioner, but I'm going to need somebody who's had years of training here. I've got insurance, so can I get what I'm paying for?
And yeah, I've got a lot of in between them dates as well, Lee.
Okay. Do you want to go all the way to where I am? I'm at December 6th, where psychiatric.
Yeah, I can, but there's a lot before as well. In between all the dates you were given.
Is it given the dates that I'm giving as well?
It's given them as well, yeah.
Okay, so I'll take this one down and you can go ahead and put that one up.
Okay. Do you want me to share it? Okay.
Yeah, let me get this one off. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. Do us a favor, just hit the like. That's all we ever ask of anybody. Hello, Umesh. Pink Fiona says, while Maggie is pulling that up, says social services need to provide services for parents that want to walk away, don't want to be parents anymore. It's imperative to take this approach to keep children safe nowadays. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Tashi says he would have been born already. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Kenda says, absolutely, Pink Peony. I totally agree. Great points. Tashi says, disassociation is why my mate was put on Seroquel. So So would that already be considered, psychosis? Is disassociation considered psychosis? Because I'm not even really sure. Pink Peony says, Kenneth, social services needs to open their eyes. Well, how many kids are we going to see die before we as our government comes together and quits giving all these other countries money to shoot each other up and take care of our kids? Put more money into the social services programs. Trump, y'all don't get me started. I love me some Daddy Trump, but there's always room for improvement. And I don't see nobody sticking up. Okay, go ahead, Maggie, and I won't be able to help you with this reading because that one I can't read at all.
Okay,
So Maggie's going to go, just start from the beginning, which is fine.
Okay. Well, if you hear me repeating what you've said, stop me, Lee.
No, go ahead, because this has got a
Okay.
lot more information.
So it says updated Lindsay Clancy's timeline as of the 1st, 29th of 26, including discrepancies. This is a summary of the Lindsay Clancy medication treatment timeline, as best as I can put together from Patrick and Lindsay's lawsuit, who has been released by police and what's been shared in court, etc. In Lindsay's lawsuit, Patrick is quoted as saying, before Lindsay became ill, she was dedicated to being a mum and even over-dedicated, worked twice as hard as most. She rarely took a break to rest. Note, this has important implications because it's hard to spot hypomania in a person whose baseline or norm sounds like this. December 24th, 2017, Cora was born. September 30, 2019, Dawson was born. According to Lindsay's lawsuit, following the birth of her second child, she was elated and had increased energy. P described that she had manic behaviour for multiple days. In October 2020, she had an episode of decluttering to simplify her life, obsessively cleaning and discarding items. She said she felt amazingly on top of things. Her thoughts raced and she constantly felt pressure to be active. It then states 2 months post-birth, she developed anxiety and was offered Zoloft by a psychiatrist, but she declined due to concerns about breastfeeding. Please note the discrepancy in the timeline above. Dawson was born in 2019, but she listed October 2020 as the time period when she had hypomania. I'm just going to scroll. Where am I? 5/26/22, Callum was born. Patrick's lawsuit said Lindsay repeatedly told Patrick how happy she was and how much she loved their new baby. She was enthusiastic and energetic. June 23rd, 2022, this marks 4 weeks postpartum. Per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay has no symptoms at this time based on DSM-5's criteria. Lindsay cannot receive a postpartum specifier for any diagnosis if no symptoms are present by this point. However, per Lindsay's lawsuit, she alleges she was actually hypomanic during this period. July 2022, Patrick and Lindsay run a 5K, must be marathon. Mid-August, Patrick returns to work. He returned 12 weeks after Callum's birth. Mid-August, per Lindsay's lawsuit, her mood suddenly switches from hypomania to anxiety and depression. She had debilitating anxiety, insomnia, and sleeping 3 hours per night. No motivation, could not exercise. September 2022, per Patrick's lawsuit, Patrick and Lindsay run another 5K. Discrepancy per Lindsay's lawsuit. She says she's too depressed to exercise at this point. Mid-September, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay begins to experience stress, anxiety, and meets with a psychiatrist, Dr. Tufts. She is diagnosed with chronic GAD and chronic adjustment DO, with depression, mood, and prescribed Zoloft. Note, the chronic specifier isn't used in the latest DSM edition, so I wouldn't read too much into that. September the 12th, 2022, per Lindsay's lawsuit. She met with Dr. Tufts, who was found online. Postnatal depression scale score was 23, severe. Zoloft was prescribed. The end of September 22, Lindsay is supposed to return to work. October 3rd, 2022, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay tells Dr. Tufts she hasn't taken the Zoloft yet. She's on the verge of taking the medication, but wants to try therapy first. Note, it's unclear in either lawsuit when she actually started therapy. Mid-October, Lindsay initiates the starting dose of Zoloft and reportedly increased it as directed. October 20th, 2022, per Patrick lawsuit, Lindsay told Dr. Tufts she increased from 25 milligram to 50 milligram. She reports a feel.
Can we scroll right there just a second, and then I'll just have you read that over again? I just don't want to forget what I was going to say here. Listen, if she has experienced depression, well, first it was mania, right? That's what she was, she's decluttering. Don't nobody come at me with my mania and stuff like that. I don't have any kind of weird stuff going on. I just have OCD. Well known, well documented. Anyways, she was experiencing mania. Now, if you've had a baby, you bleed anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks after delivery. When did it say that she first went on a 5K run? 8 weeks?
Let me look that up. Remember where I am. Hang on. Because that's what it said. She said she didn't feel like exercising, but that's what it said. Bear in mind, she'd done a 5K run.
She did two 5Ks. The first one, I think, was 8 weeks.
Let me have a look. Remember October 20, so I know where I am. Right. P&L run a 5K. That was July 22. She mid-August.
So 8 weeks.
Patrick,
so 8 weeks, and then she did another one
and then she did another one in September.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, I felt good after having my kids, as far as physically goes, but I honestly can't tell you that at 2 months, I felt like going and jiggling my insides around. You know what I mean? From running. I just can't imagine. But it also makes me wonder what kind of marriage was this? Because we can see by looking at the father, he's obviously fit. You can see by looking at her even after pictures, she's obviously fit. I mean, fitness was part of their routine. So was her husband saying, babe, I'm telling you, you're going to release endorphins and all this. Get up, let's go exercise together. Was she putting on a show for him and he just missed the signs because maybe he didn't grow up with mental illness? I think if you've been around somebody with mental illness, we're going, don't think I don't see you over there acting like that.
To exercise,
right. Maybe to keep her husband, maybe, we don't know, but that's just something to think about. But then there's this. So she's going through the mania, then she hits the anxiety and the depression stage, which all makes sense to me. And then she's got to go back to work. Now she's depressed and anxious at home, right? These children and whatever's going on and just the natural effect of things. What is her work? Her work is to go into a nursery and labor and delivery. So does she ever get away from her stressor? If we're going to find out, like we said, during trial, what were those what did she, the diary on her phone that she kept about her children? I'm hoping that we get it, that she puts some kind of understanding in there at some point that we'll be able to read. I can't imagine being stressed out at home and then my job has to do with the same shit I'm doing at home, going right into taking care of more babies. And then I go home and take care of the babies. What did that do to her psyche as well? And
it's a very stressful job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Labor and delivery, I would imagine it is. I mean, it's not always a beautiful baby that's handed to you that's healthy and wonderful. It's a lot of very sad, sad moments in
Yeah,
in
there's
those
not always a
places.
happy outcome. It's very stressful for them.
Yeah, and so and then having to deal with mothers themselves, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's all different personalities in that as well. All right, I just wanted to bring that up as I
Yeah,
just can't imagine because when I've been stressed out, sometimes work was the best place for me, but it didn't have anything to do with home. I did something
yeah,
completely different at work, so it didn't screw with my psyche. Now, did I come home, change, and go walk for 4 miles because of the stress? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
mhm.
Because I had to prepare my mind to get back into what was going on at home. So, and the same reason why we all look forward to taking the weekends off or whatever day your days off is because you're not doing the same thing at home that you're doing at work. You're getting away from it, getting that time away. But even if she went on vacation, Maggie, she's still doing the same thing. She's taking those kids.
Yeah,
What,
trying to get away from it.
so it does make me wonder about the stressors with that. Okay, keep going. I'm
And
sorry.
as he said, she was cleaning, she was doing this, that, and the other. I mean, when I had my baby, I was the same. I was manically cleaning because I
Mhm.
wanted everything to be spotless. So, I mean, I
Because
think that's just
normally,
part of being a mum.
yeah, because normally you go through a nesting period right before the baby's born, and
Exactly.
you start doing all this wild and crazy.
Yeah,
And
I
you know
got the
what?
whole house changed. Yeah,
And honestly, if you're cleaning like constantly, and that's not the norm. Your husband
Mm.
must come home and think, oh, she's feeling good. She's cleaning. Look at her
yeah.
cleaning the food. She's got the food going. The floors look my kids look
Mm.
yeah, and not being able to recognize, hold on, this has
But
been
he
going
has
on now.
recognised it because it's been said there.
Yeah, because it's going on for 2-3 days. Like this isn't normal. Like where's Oprah
Yeah.
on the TV, right? Okay, keep going.
Okay, so she increased her medication from 25 to 50 milligram. She reported feeling awful insomnia, poor appetite, more depressed, crying all day, and mental fog. She was terrified to start something new. She allegedly developed racing thoughts and became paranoid of getting suicidal thoughts. Something bad happening, doesn't want to be alone. Lindsay's lawsuit says she experienced a severe adverse reaction. She did not sleep for 48 hours and had racing thoughts and worsening anxiety. Dr. Tufts discontinued the Zoloft and prescribed Ativan and Benadryl for sleep. October 31st, 2022, per Patrick lawsuit, Lindsay told her therapist, who was reported to be a colleague of Dr. Tufts, that she was hoping to return to work soon and hopeful this would decrease her depressive symptoms. November 8th, 2022, Lindsay made a post in the Facebook group I Am Not Alone, postpartum depression, anxiety, and rage, saying she was looking for advice on meds for PPA and PPD. She writes, she tried Zoloft for 1 week after her increasing it to 50 milligram. She had extreme insomnia and depression worsened. She says Ativan is the only medication that has worked for her. BC because it has the perfect effect of decreasing my anxiety and making me feel happy again. Note, Patrick's lawsuit does not mention who prescribed the Ativan. Lindsay's lawsuit says it was prescribed by Dr. Tufts. Dosage is unknown. Mid-November, insomnia worsens. She allegedly sleeping only 3 hours a night. November 16, 2022, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay went to the ER for insomnia. This was consistent with Lindsay's lawsuit, stating she took herself to the emergency room at South Shore Hospital and was reported insomnia, anxiety, palpitations. She was given trazodone, but it was not effective, even at 150 milligram. November 20, 2022, Patrick's mother, a nurse at South Shore Hospital, contacted Nurse Paul at South Shore Parental Behavioural Health Programme and asked her to contact Lindsay. Lindsay tells Nurse Paul She is frustrated, scared, overwhelmed, having racing thoughts, constant thinking, extreme insomnia, and sleeping 3 hours a night. November 21st, 2022, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay described symptoms suggesting mania, racing thoughts, extreme insomnia, frustration, and feeling scared. However, per Patrick's lawsuit, Nurse Paul then wrote a script for Prozac, 10 milligram. Oh my
I'm so
God.
aggravated
Yeah.
now. This is a lot of medication. And not only that, like his mother is a nurse, and
Yeah.
who's not screaming for her to be in the hospital? If
I
it
know.
was if that was my loved one, I'd be like, no, you're going in the hospital. You need, I'd call everybody there to call, like, listen,
Yeah.
she needs a bit. You've got, I mean, these
She
are
needs
big
this help.
drugs. This is
Yeah.
a big drugs. In fact, I'm actually surprised that the Ativan even worked for her, because a lot of us with severe anxiety, I remember when they put me on Ativan, I was like, why you give me vitamins? You know, because I didn't feel anything on them, nothing. So this is all just too weird. Now, some people may be wondering, why are we talking about Patrick's lawsuit? He also has filed a lawsuit against these doctors, you guys. I don't know the status of that. I don't know if they're getting through this first, and then he is going to go to court, or see the outcome of this. Or, I mean, if they can prove that Lindsay did this on her own, you know, that she planned it out and all that, then I guess her husband doesn't have a lawsuit against the doctors. But if she, if the jury does see that there was some negligence in her health care, and that she is not guilty of it, then they both have got, listen, this group of doctors are going to pay a lot of money. That is a lot of drugs, Brittany. That is a crazy amount of drugs. And that amount of time, yeah, I mean, even our, I can liken it to.
They tell you, don't they? They normally take 6 weeks to work. Antidepressants.
Yeah,
That's what
and they
told
start
you.
you on very low. They don't just throw 150 at you.
Exactly.
So, especially when you're changing medications, because just the two medications being in your system at the same time can cause adverse reactions. Like you would think that they would. Now I understand what they're talking about. It was causing her to get worse. So, I mean, how I've always known is that they would just start decreasing that medicine and adding in the other medicine slowly.
Yeah. That's
But
what I thought.
I mean, I'm not, I only play a doctor right here on YouTube. Go ahead.
So November 23rd, 2022, Lindsay tells Nurse Paul she is feeling disconnected, out of it, spacey. November 25th, 22, per Lindsay's lawsuit, after 4 days on Prozac, her insomnia worsened and she discontinued it. Nurse Paul prescribes 3 different meds, Ambien, Remeron, and Clonopin at once. The meds reportedly did not help with sleep. Note, there is no mention of the dosage or how long she tried these meds. November 26, 2022, per Lindsay's lawsuit, after taking Remeron, she experienced dissociation, perceiving the world around her as unreal, distorted and distant. She could not determine what was real. She was forgetful, confused, and unable to drive or be alone. November 28, 2022, Lindsay tells Nurse Paul she is still struggling with sleep, disorientated, not connected to her body, petrified of becoming addicted to benzos, feels like she is in a panic state. November 29th, 2022, per Patrick lawsuit, Lindsay begins treating with Nurse Paul's colleague, Nurse Giulietta. Note, it's unclear why she switched providers. Per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay tells Nurse Giulietta she's physically dependent on benzos to sleep. She's completely overwhelmed. Mind is constantly running. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, Nurse Giulietta correctly considers bipolar disorder. and prescribes Seroquel. Discrepancy per Patrick's lawsuit. Lindsay later reports she had immediate passive SI. What's SI, Lee? Is that psychosis?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was trying to type that in the chat.
It says later report she had immediate passive SI. Is that psychosis?
No,
After being prescribed
know?
Seroquel SI.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
Okay. After being prescribed Seroquel, which the date listed as 11:30, there is no mention of the dosage or how long she was on the medication. According to Lindsay's lawsuit, after starting Seroquel, her condition took a dramatic turn for the worse. She developed suicidal ideation and began experiencing what she described as intrusive thoughts, which were actually
Sorry, SI is suicidal ideation.
Okay.
So she was experiencing suicidal thoughts.
Suicidal thoughts, yeah. And began experiencing what she described as intrusive thoughts, which were actually auditory hallucinations. The voice said, "I will not be the same. I want to die." Shortly thereafter, Patrick's lawsuit noted that Lindsay tells her therapist, Letitia Dukes, that she has an addiction to Activan, and that is why she can't sleep. She reports weight loss, poor appetite, panic attacks, feelings of numbness. This is the first time she reports suicidal ideation per Patrick's lawsuit. December 2, 2022, per Lindsay's lawsuit, on the 12th of the 2nd, she told Nurse Giulotta she's lost 15 pounds, has no appetite, was experiencing panic attacks, confusion, and lack of attention over the past 4 days. December 4th, 2022, per Lindsay's lawsuit, she was so scared of the hallucinations, she called a suicide hotline, but was told there was no emergencies because she has no specific plan to kill herself. Note, it's unclear if she actually told them she was hallucinating.
Oh my God.
I can't believe how much this girl's suffering. And there's nothing being done apart from changing her medication over and over and over again. I think they have failed her. From what I'm reading here, they have failed her, Leni.
They have failed her. Yeah, definitely. I'm in shock over that suicide hotline. I mean, if anybody calls it, it's obviously an emergency to them.
I worked in one, Leni, and we were told 9 out of 10 people don't mention it. You've just got to sit and listen to them. They're obviously suicidal because that's why they're calling.
Right. So are the calls being monitored or are they recorded?
No, where I worked in Samaritans, they were never allowed to be recorded.
Because I mean, all we have is Lindsay's words that she was told it was not an emergency because she had no plan. That doesn't mean she doesn't want to die. You know what I mean? This makes so many levels here are wrong. So many. This is terrible. Go ahead, Maggie.
December 5th, 2022, per Lindsay's lawsuit, she met virtually with an Aspire crisis support clinician and was told she did not meet criteria for inpatient treatment because she did not have a plan for suicide. Oh my God. Note again, it's unclear if she told them she was actively hallucinating. So she had to be hallucinating in order to be an inpatient. How awful. It's not true here.
That's not true. I mean, a doctor could tell you, because as most people that know me on my channel have been pretty open about my anxiety and depression. And my doctor said, look, you need to be in a hospital. I've got to get your medicine regulated. We can't do it this way. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, I can't force you because you're not psychotic, but He said, I'm telling you, we can't get nowhere like this. I need to really, and you need some therapy. And so I put myself in the hospital, best damn 10 days vacation I ever had in my life. And when I came out, I was a different person. I was a different person. So why isn't anybody telling her?
I can't understand it. I'm shocked.
Especially his mom is a nurse. Why isn't
Yeah.
she telling her son, honey? Because I'm sure he's on the phone. Mom, like, what the hell is wrong with my wife in here? You know?
Yeah.
And why isn't she or why is when the nurse grandma comes and visits the baby, why isn't she saying, we need to get help immediately? I mean, aren't you? I don't get it, Maggie. I don't get it.
No, I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach reading it, to be honest. Awful. Absolutely. She's been failed. What I'm reading, she's been
Bridget,
failed 100%.
Rudy, I think we're all having those, and that's what's good about going over these things, right? Like you know, it's good. So we've got an understanding of it, and then when we get to trial, we'll really be able to hear it. But
Yeah.
I mean, like before this was all read, I was like, oh, homegirl, like you did that on your phone, you timed it out. But she told them, you know, that she didn't want to live anymore. Who knows?
Oh. You ready for me to carry on, Lee?
Yes, ma'am.
December 5th, 22. Per Patrick's lawsuit. Lindsay tells therapist she is experiencing intrusive thoughts of wanting to die. Note, intrusive thoughts are not necessarily the same thing as suicidal ideation. What? Really?
What?
Can you believe that? Let me read that again.
Read that again.
Note, intrusive thoughts are not necessarily the same thing as suicidal ideation. That is a joke. I can't believe it.
Okay, let me think about this. Has anybody
Can
in
I just
chat?
read the whole thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay tells the therapist she is experiencing intrusive thoughts of wanting to die. Note, intrusive thoughts are not necessarily the same thing as suicide ideation. She's intrusive thoughts of wanting to die.
Okay.
But it's not. Oh my God.
Let's break this down a second, because I mean, I'm going to be honest, and I could say there's not too many humans on this earth that hasn't gone through something so bad, and you didn't think you're going to live through it, and you're just like, I just want to die. That's not an intrusive thought. An intrusive thought is something that you're not consciously thinking about. It just comes and it won't go away. It is stopping the life you know. It is hindering you from any happiness or any reality of life. That's what intrusive thoughts are, right? You can't. It's that demon sitting on your shoulder that won't shut the hell up. So when it comes to that kind of a thing, that's completely suicidal ideation to me. And especially since who's reading her records? I mean, how many you're reading records all the way down? Even if you switch to a new doctor, don't they take your don't they get your prior records? At least that's how they do it in Indiana. And you can read through there and see how long she's been thinking about wanting not to live or to kill herself or to harm. I mean, what's going on here? I'm lost.
I'm in shock. I can't get over it.
Go ahead, Max.
Patrick joins a visit with Nurse Paul and says Lindsay's anxiety has worsened since starting the meds. Discrepancy in Lindsay's lawsuit does not mention this appointment at all. December 6, 2022, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay attended an appointment with Nurse Jolota. Lindsay reports she's still only sleeping 3 hours, feeling overwhelmed, mind constantly running, denies SI, which was what? Anyway, she denied SI, but report how suicidal is that? Denies but reports feeling something terrible might happen. Nurse Giulotta prescribes Valium. Oh my God.
Sorry, I
someone
walked
else.
away just for a minute. Yes,
It's
she's denying any suicidal ideology, so any
right,
suicidal
okay.
thoughts at that time.
Note, there is no mention of what dose or whether she took this medication constantly until the taper by Dr. Tufts in January. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, Patrick attended this appointment with Lindsay, and it was Patrick who connected Lindsay's suicidal thoughts to the Seroquel. He told Nurse Giulotta that Lindsay is 10,000 times worse since she's taken that medication. He asked her to get Lindsay off the meds and start from scratch to see what's going on. Nurse Giulotta increased Seroquel to 400 milligram.
Oh my God!
Hang on, it gets worse. Note, the typical daily dose for bipolar would be 400 to 800. December the 9th, per Patrick's lawsuit, Patrick calls Nurse Giulotta and asks for urgent callback. Nurse Giulotta calls them back, and Lindsay and Patrick report she experiences panic and suicidal ideation. They say Nurse Giulotta advises Lindsay to continue taking the medication. December 13th, Lindsay's lawsuit said on this day she remained deeply depressed, had no motivation, and still had suicidal ideation. She wanted this all to be over. December 15th, 22, Patrick calls Nurse Giulotta's office to report Lindsay had a devastating week and that it was the worst day for Lindsay. She had horrible thoughts all day. It is then stated Lindsay had auditory hallucinations all day, every day. She felt debilitated, not interested in anything, exhausted, and could not get out of bed. All of December, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay has persistent thoughts of suicide, and Lindsay continues to seek help through Nurse Giulotta and her therapist. Discrepancy, he does not mention that additional appointments with Dr. Tufts or Nurse Paul. Lindsay contacts Dr. Tufts, who prescribes Lamictal. Note, there is no mention of the dose or how long she took this medication. Just scroll this up. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, no date noted. Lindsay told Patrick, I have thoughts of harming the kids. She also told her mother about these thoughts because she was in a psychotic state. Lindsay also had paranoid delusions that people could hear her thoughts and that she would be locked in a hospital and have her children taken away. December 20, according to Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay's escalating suicidal thoughts prompted a visit to Mass General Hospital ER on the date. On this date, the ER suggested either admission to McLean Hospital or the partial hospitalisation day program at Women and Infants Hospital in Rhode Island. Discrepancy, there is no mention of this ER visit in Patrick's lawsuit.
All right,
December
let's just
20.
let's Ethel it right there. Go up
Go on.
one and tell me again one more time where what it says right before. I hate when I lose my train of thought, you guys. Right before, because I can't read it.
Go on.
Where she started the mother. She called her mom and told her mom that she
The mother.
had, and then she told her
Yeah.
husband that she felt like killing herself and harming her children.
Okay. I'm
Hi,
just going
Justice
through it
Jane.
now.
It was like just above that. Thank you, Justice Jane. Appreciate you, love bug.
Okay, so per Lindsay's lawsuit, no date noted. Lindsay told Patrick, I have thoughts of harming the kids. She also told her mother about these thoughts. Because she was in a psychotic state, Lindsay also had paranoid delusions that people could hear her thoughts and that she would be locked in a hospital and have her children taken away.
Oh my God.
December 20. Do you want to
Keep
say
going.
something?
No, keep going. I'm just sick.
I know. December 20, according to Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay's escalating suicide reports prompted a mass visit to Mass General Hospital ER on this date. The ER suggested either admission to McLean Hospital or the partial hospitalisation day programme at Women and Infants Hospital in Rhode Island. Discrepancy: there is no mention of this ER visit in Patrick's lawsuit. December 20, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay enters a day hospital programme at Women and Infants Hospital intended for women with postpartum depression. She reports heart palpitations, severe depression, feelings of numbness, and that life is becoming a disaster. She also says she cannot feel fear, and she's worried she was beyond repair. Note, there is no mention how Lindsay would have stayed in Rhode Island for this outpatient programme had she been accepted to it. Would she have been left there alone? Would Patrick have stayed with her? Just a month prior, on 11/25, she could not drive or be left alone.
Oh my God, good point. Good
I know.
point. Where was her mom? I mean, did her mom live right? I want to know if her mom lived
I
right
know.
there. And was she taking her back and forth to this? Because I do know that she did do the outpatient thing, the daytime thing. But I hope, since it doesn't say what day, they didn't have a date, that she had told Patrick and her mother that she was, she wanted to commit suicide and that she thought of hurting the kids. Hopefully that's the day that somebody took her to the emergency room, because I guarantee you, if they didn't take her to the emergency room that day, she was neglected right there then too.
Yeah.
And so were her children. All right, I'll be quiet.
So, discrepancy in the dates. They say she admitted herself. 12/20 versus 12/21. Per her lawsuit, reported feeling crazy, depressed, numb to all emotions, can't feel love, and that her life was becoming a disaster. That she couldn't feel fear.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That she couldn't feel fear. That she was messed up beyond repair. Note, this is the same score as before, suggesting symptoms had not worsened since September. Oh my God. She was score 7.
Imagine, I mean, she's on, off. We don't even know if she's taking the medications, right? Or she forgets one day. Hell, I forget mine. Me and Maggie talk about forgetting our medicines all the time.
They don't even know because the poor girl's on that much.
Yeah, and of course she feels nothing. Hell, the medication's going to do that to her.
She's messed up totally with it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
I think Miss Barbara's right.
7.
Listen, we need to always listen to Ma Barb, because I'm telling you, there's a reason why she's the matriarch here. She's smarter than the average bear.
Yeah,
she called
gets
it.
Right onto it.
She called it. Go ahead, Mags.
Okay, so per Lindsay's lawsuit, Dr. Diaz at Women and Infants concluded Lindsay had no postpartum depression and rejected a bipolar diagnosis because of no history of hypomania or psychosis or family history. They alleged this is due to inadequate history per Lindsay's lawsuit. Dr. Diaz accepted Lindsay and Patrick's belief that her symptoms were due to over-medication and recommended weaning Seroquel. They felt her symptoms were more pharmaceutically induced than purely depressive. Oh my God. Per Patrick's lawsuit, Women and Infants think Lindsay's symptoms are due to over-medication and misdiagnosis. Women and Infants allegedly reached out to Nurse Jolota, who allegedly did not respond. Note, it's unclear why they didn't call any other treatment providers or why they discharged her without speaking to any treatment provider.
Right. And where's the MD? You're talking to what is probably a nurse practitioner, because a regular nurse cannot prescribe. I didn't even know nurse practitioners could prescribe that kind of meds.
There you go.
But now I know. But I'm in shock that a medical doctor was not a part of this at all.
Not
Shocked.
once. Not one. Is a doctor mentioned?
I don't care if I'm going in for a shot. If a nurse practitioner, I walk in, I'm like, "Where's your buddy?" Because he's the one whose name is on my bill, so I want to see him. I'm a bitch
Yeah.
when it comes to that shit, you guys. Listen, I've had a lot of Army um, m- medical doctors, and I say that with quotation marks up in the clouds. You know, them Army medical doctors. Listen, I've been fucked more than once. And if anything I've learned, and I'm not saying that times haven't changed now, because I do believe the military doctors really have gotten so much better because of their training and stuff like that. But I no, I don't want to see a nurse. I didn't sign up for your nurse practitioner, and I'm definitely not paying her for what I would pay you for, because you've had 10 more years of college. So no, and you don't have to. You don't have to see a nurse practitioner.
No.
It is heartbreaking. She was badly
really is.
mistreated. That's right.
It
That's
really
right,
is.
Misty. It's terrible. This is terrible. If this comes out in court just like this, I'm
And
gonna
it
be like,
going on and on and on.
first I'm gonna ask her husband first, why, if you supported all this and you believed in it, why all of a sudden did you get a divorce? Whatever happened to you in sickness and in health?
Don't
So if she was
understand
really
it at
sick
all.
enough to murder her kids, then what right do you have?
She hadn't even been charged. She
Yeah.
wasn't even in prison. She wasn't given
mean,
life or
nothing. And so he's going to go ahead and divorce her. Okay, we see how this goes, right? So at least you're still supporting her. That's nice, because you may have a lawsuit too, maybe. I don't know. But I'm real shitty with their ex-husband about right now. Why would you leave your wife? Because if you believe that a doctor medicated her wrong, and that's what led to your children's death, or even that a postpartum did this, that's not her fault. So
and apparently there was
why?
no problem in the marriage, in the family before all this. Why?
So
Did
how
do
all
what
of
he
a
did?
sudden?
I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I feel like punching him in the balls right now. You can't even get through trial. You can't even wait that long. It makes me wonder. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say
Do
it.
you know how long it was before
he
you
have?
got married? Did he
No,
find
but
someone else? Do you know?
I'll look it up real quick. Was he having
Please
an
look it
affair
up
prior
right
to
now.
this? I want to know if he was having an affair with this woman before this, and did she find out about it? Did she know about it, and did that lead to this? Not solely in itself, you know what I mean? But she was already, something was already going on mentally, and that didn't help. And she is now paralyzed, right? And she has to live knowing with what she did. Yeah. I think it would be hard to stay with someone that killed my children. Would you be able to support them, Brittany? And even if you wholeheartedly, and that's what he's saying, wholeheartedly, he blames the doctors for this. So why before we ever get to any of this, you know, even get through what do you call it? We didn't even get through all of the court stuff before he is happily married again to a doctor that does infertility. I mean, it kind of all just runs in a circle to me. And I'm struggling with this ex-husband anyway, so I'm gonna dog him. He's gonna have to, something's got to be pulled out of the hat. Now, if Lindsay I don't know if Lindsay divorced him, even if that's
if he didn't want to
possible.
be with her because of the thoughts of what she did, I mean, surely if he, like you say, if he's genuine and thinks, hang on a minute, she has cried for help, she's been in terrible states, you know, there's no way she's known what she's doing. You know, it's how could he look at it as a in a bad way? You know, obviously, I just, you really take it to your heart. She didn't know what she was doing. Now, if he just couldn't live with it, he couldn't be with it again, whatever, walk away on your own. Just be on your own, you know.
And at least get the, I mean, she's not living with you. She has to stay in the hospital. They did not grant any kind of bond for her.
How could
So
he
she
go and
had to
get
stay.
happily married and
So yeah, he's just living his life, making all that money with that doctor. It does. I'm telling you, something in the circle is just tightening the circle for me.
something's not
And
what we need
listen,
today.
even if Lindsay had been the one like, look, divorce me, no matter what, I'm either going to stay in a psychiatric hospital the rest of my life or I'm going to prison. No, we have no life together. So, there's that. So go ahead. Listen, I don't even think legally he would be able to obtain a divorce if she's the one that asked for it without being cleared of a doctor, because if she was that mentally unstable, how can he give someone a divorce? You know what I mean? That may
Yeah.
not be what she wants,
Exactly.
So something does stink, Missy. Something does. My woman feeling and being a mother feeling and dealing with depression and anxiety is saying homeboy had an affair.
I'm going with you on that one right now.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead,
Carry
Max.
on.
Let me shut the
So
hell up.
December 29th, per Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay's suicidal ideation surged, and Lindsay told her husband, I can't tough it out. I need to go to McLean, which is the hospital. December 30th, per Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay went to the MGH emergency room, which suggested admission to McLean Hospital. December 31st, per Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay admitted herself to McLean Hospital due to severe depression and suicidal ideation. Admitting symptoms include passive suicidal ideation, feeling detached, hopeless, depressed, no appetite or energy, to perform ADLs, no motivation, no anhedonia, racing thoughts, inability to organize her thoughts, memory problems, anxiety, insomnia. Her insight and judgments were noted to be limited. January 1st, per Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay admits herself to McLean due to suicidal ideation. She texts Patrick to say she doesn't belong there. Discrepancy dates of hospital admission: 12/31st versus 1st of the 1st. Not sure why these two consistently report different dates. January 3rd, Lindsay sees the McLean doctor. Hooray, doctor. So Lindsay McLean doctor, no, source again. January 3rd, Lindsay sees the McLean doctor, who reportedly advised Lindsay to stop Seroquel and Benzos and prescribed trazodone for sleep. January 4th, Lindsay reportedly asked to go home for her daughter's birthday because her thoughts had improved since the Seroquel decrease. She was approved from discharge. Oh my God. January 5th, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay is discharged from McLean. Discrepancy again with the dates. Lindsay says discharge was the 1st of the 4th, and Patrick says discharge was 1st of the 5th. Note, no mention is made of discharge plans or recommendations. No mention is made of what medication she is now taking. Date unknown, Dr. Goodhart from McLean reportedly called Lindsay and spoke for 10 minutes, offering names of antidepressants, including amitriptyline, which I've had. January the 6th, 2023, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay sees psychiatrist Dr. Tufts. Diagnosis is updated to chronic major depression order, single episode moderate. Note, this diagnosis of MDD could have been given with the specifier of severe with or without psychotic features, but Dr. Tufts went with the moderate. There is no mention of what meds she has taken or any changes made in Patrick's lawsuit. Oops. When am I? Patrick's lawsuit. January 7th, 23. Per Lindsay's lawsuit. She attends daughter's birthday party and smiled but could not converse. She was avoiding talking and couldn't make sense of what others were saying. January 9th. Per Lindsay's lawsuit. Lindsay sees Dr. Tufts again. Police records note a prescription. Police records note a prescription for diazepam, 5 mg, was filled on this day. Instructions appear to be to wean down on the medicine. January 10th, per Lindsay's lawsuit, Lindsay meets with Dr. Tufts and was switched to Valium for benzodiazepine taper. Discrepancy. There is no mention of this appointment in Patrick's lawsuit. January 12th, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay meets with Dr. Tufts again and reports low mood, low motivation, and feeling very stressed. Says this has been going on for months now, and I am getting desperate for something that would work quickly to get me out of this depressed state. Note, there is no mention of what medication she's taken or any changes made in Patrick's lawsuit. Also, discrepancy. There is no mention of this appointment in Lindsay's lawsuit. January 13th, police records indicate a prescription for trazodone, 150 mg, was filled. January 16th, per Patrick's lawsuit, Lindsay sees Dr. Tufts on this date, and Lindsay's mood is depressed, affect is depressed and flat, no motivation. She feels numb, able to get out of bed, concentration is fine, caring for the baby, feels forced to suicidal ideation. Feels forced. No suicidal ideation. Discrepancy. There is no mention of this appointment in Lindsay's lawsuit other than to say Lindsay is prescribed amitriptyline 10 mg on this day, and Lindsay is still experiencing debilitating depression. She has to force herself to do anything. The hallucinations continued. You should harm the children. You should kill yourself. You will never be the same.
All right, Ethel. How many effing drugs was this woman given?
God knows.
I am in shock. I am in complete shock that in this amount of time, this short 8 months, I mean, they pulled out all the big guns. Listen, if Valium don't do it for you, y'all know, if Valium don't do it for you, you're screwed. Listen, at what point does a grandparent go over and say, I'm going to just take the kids for a little while? That's what I would be doing. I got 10 of them. And I guarantee you, if I went through one day of this, my grandkids would be living with me until they figured out her mom.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, you may not have been able to save your child's life, but you could have saved your grandkid's life. And oh, Dad, I'm sorry, I'm still going to stick it to the husband. Where was he? Why isn't he calling one of the parents saying, look, we got to get these kids out of here? All she had to do was say it once. I feel like harming my children.
Yeah.
All right. Good. That's good. Hold on. I'm going to need you to go in that room, lock the door. I'd be picking up a phone. Somebody's coming to pick up my kids. Or I'm leaving my kids and you can come hang out with her. That's what would be happening here.
She wouldn't have been on her own. One of the mothers should have been there.
Yeah. Not just the doctors.
Them. Yeah.
All of them, all of these people that are involved in this, nobody helped this woman as far as I can tell. Nobody. All right, I'll shut up again.
January 16, 23. Police records note a prescription for diazepam, 2 mg, was filled. I think this is mean filed, not filled, on this day. Instructions appear.
That's how we say.
Filled?
Oh, yeah, right, that means that they went to the pharmacy and they got the medicine. It was filled for her.
2 mg was filled on this day. Instructions appear to be intended to help her wean off the medication. Police records also note a prescription for amitriptyline 10 milligram was filled on this day. January 2023, per her lawsuit, Lindsay researches why is a psychopath. I think it's what is a psychopath it means. So Lindsay researches what is a psychopath. January 22, Patrick and Lindsay and their 2 eldest kids go to dinner at a friend's home. According to what the friend told police, Lindsay seemed fairly normal, mostly quiet while on her phone, keeping to herself. January 23rd, this is the day before the murder. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, Dr. Tuff notes Lindsay is a little more anxious. Her heart is racing, mood is flat, anxious. She reports no motivation, feeling numb, and has to force herself to get up. Notably, her insight is described as poor. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, Dr. Tuff's increases the amitriptyline to 20 milligram, and she did not sleep at all that night. Other weird discrepancies. Per police reports, Patrick told the police Lindsay's been having suicidal thoughts, as well as thoughts of hurting the children, since the end of December. In his lawsuit, he says she had suicidal thoughts all of December. Patrick's friend tells the police that Lindsay was having issues with her medications and she was mostly anxious and not depressed. Patrick felt as if Lindsay was not overly anxious and their anxiety level was normal and not severe. Per Lindsay's lawsuit, she woke up on the 1st of the 24th, severely depressed with suicidal thoughts and suicidal hallucinations that continued non-stop all day. These are 2 different things. Right, so it just stops there and then it's coming up with the comments.
I got a question for Patrick.
And it
So
says
Patrick,
there, sorry, Liam, just what we've been saying. If all this is true, she should not have been left alone, period,
That's right.
ever. She should not have been driving the kids around or left unsupervised with them.
Yeah, I would have a question for Patrick. So say all 3 of your kids were alive, right? And one of them's got stomach flu really bad. Are you going to let them all hang out in the same room together? No. Put the baby to bed, leave, keep going in, checking on them, sitting there, console them, try to keep the kids separate. That's what you do as a family. Stay away from me and don't eat after me and don't drink after me. Oh, no. Yeah, we would do that. But, just because she's having suicidal thoughts and thoughts of harming her children, there's no reason to separate them. Yet we would separate them if someone in the house had the flu or COVID.
Yeah. And as this guy said, yes, if I'm her doctor and all of the above is reported to me, I'm implementing safety plans with both the patient to prevent suicide and her husband and family needing 24/7 supervision around the children and documenting. But that's not just our clinical training, that's just common sense, which makes me think maybe these clinicians didn't have all the info.
Well, the good news is, we've read different things. There are 2 different lawsuits going on. I think one is pending the other. And listen, I know a lot of people lie on the stand, but records don't lie. So if they kept the proper records, then this doctor, I hope the defense is going to rake that doctor over the coals because they failed her. They failed her so bad. And I hope they burn old Patrick too. So let me go ahead and say this. So that was the timeline up to from when she was pregnant and when all this had started for her in this recent thing. I typed in, does anybody know when Patrick got divorced? You guys, that just came out public. Even though people have said it before and they were like, nah, we can't find any divorce papers. We can't find any new no divorce papers in the state of New York or Massachusetts, and we can't find any marital records in either state as well. Well, this case, if it's got any kind of a gag order, those records don't have to be public yet because it's a part of this case. If one of the one of the like say the defense doesn't want that out, that they had gotten a divorce, that the husband walked away from her. So that just blew up, you guys, 2 days ago for sure, that he did remarry. He absolutely did remarry.
Oh my God.
So
I want to know when.
I want to
How
know
long
when
has
too,
this
but
happened?
it's not telling us when they had gotten a divorce or and then when.
Why,
But
I
he
wonder.
has
But
moved
it
to
will tell
New
in the
York.
trial, won't it?
Yeah, he has moved to New York and he's living in Manhattan. He's living in Manhattan, y'all. Listen, listen, sweet Patrick. Listen, I'm pissed. I'm pissed off at Patrick. So I'm gonna be facetious. Sweet Patrick is living the high life in Manhattan. So there's that. All right. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for being here, you guys. We appreciate you so much. Let's see. Rudy says, I'm surprised they would fill the prescriptions. That is crazy. Yeah, exactly. Unless they're from different doctors, right? Who knows? And it sounds like both of them. It sounds like
pills must have been fighting each other, dancing around the pens.
Can you
Can you
imagine?
imagine they being on that all them different things? You know, one getting into your system, then they take it off it and put it on another. They've got those on their hands, every one of them who was doing all this.
Oh yeah, I think I think everybody involved in this should have to do some kind of time.
Murdered them kids. It's terrible.
Tashi said she expressed multiple times to doctors and the husband that she's having thoughts of killing them, and he's telling his mate that he doesn't believe she's depressed. What the fuck?
I don't understand that.
Don't understand at all, because most of us would just be like, no, you're going to the hospital and calling mom, come get these kids or come get her, whichever one I'm good with.
Is he embarrassed or something, do you think, maybe, and he just didn't want to say? I don't know.
I don't know. Broody says, if I told my family all this, they would have me 51550. Exactly.
Yeah,
which is involuntarily put in the hospital for up to 3 days. They could hold you and evaluate you. I don't understand why they weren't. It sounds like Patrick, buddy, you know, he was trying to lessen what was going on at home, make it smaller than what it really was. I'm not saying the man wanted his children dead, but he sure didn't want his wife alive. That's my opinion. If this is factual, they failed those kids, not just her. Amen. Tosh says, I want to know if the new doctor's wife would known him and her before this. I would like to know that as well. Now, we do know that when this happened, they were living in Massachusetts, and the doctor lady, I think she was an infertility doctor up in Manhattan, but that doesn't mean that through their work they didn't know each other, right? Because she's a labor and delivery nurse, right? There are a lot of women that have to go through fertility in order to come to where Lindsay Clancy's can help deliver their baby. So yeah, they run in circles. I'm sure that's why I'm like, the circle's getting smaller. I want to know too. We'll find out. It takes a good 6 weeks for an antidepressant to start feeling its full effects. That's right. No doctor is going to be, unless you're breaking out in hives, you know, your throat's starting to close up, that kind of a thing. They're not going to be switching these types of medicines that quick. I agree. It
says here he's got a family as well.
Oh, he's got kids. See, I can't find that.
It says, as the course is away, they divorced. He's remarried. He has a family. Reddington said in course.
Well, maybe, does that mean that she had children before?
I don't know, but wouldn't they say that? He has a family.
Miss June!
To find out what happens.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Miss June. I have missed you. Rudy says this makes me so sad. It does me too. I've got chill bumps from this. All right. Why don't we listen to the one and only time old Patrick, our buddy Patrick, y'all. Why don't we listen to the one and only time our buddy Patrick ever gave an interview in this whole ordeal? I'm gonna bring this one up because I think it's time to hear from Patrick. I mean, what the fuck? Maggie, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up if you'll take that down.
Okay, love. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's just hear what he had to say. This was just last year that he finally speaks up, and I think it's good, and we're going to listen to it. This is from Court TV. This is my source. This was 1 year ago, so 2 years after his kids were murdered. He finally has something to say, and you know what? I just can't help but to think. Maybe he waited. He didn't want anybody to know that he was remarried, because are we going to be feeling the way we feel about Patrick right now? You have a hand in this, sir. You have a hand in this. Sorry.
So in a newspaper article, his mother said he has to come to terms with the fact that she's no longer part of anything. She's going to go her way, and he's going to go his.
Oh, so mommy's making excuses now for her baby boy. Oh, how nice. Nice, mom. Where's your feeling bad for your grandchildren? I mean, if you're making excuses for him, then you're making excuses for yourself for failing your grandchildren.
And Patrick Clancy would not comment on his marital status out of deference to Lindsay.
Oh, bullshit. He didn't give a damn. If you gave a damn and any kind of respect you had for her, you could have waited. I mean, you could have gone over there and still lived with your girl and slept with her and all kind of stuff.
Waited for the outcome.
Yeah.
You know, his little babies and his wife, they were supposedly very happy. They doted on the kids. There was nothing wrong with the marriage. And then that. So there evidently was somewhere, something wasn't right. But that's what happened.
Yep. All right. This is from Court TV, you guys, and this was done a year ago. The one and only time we've heard from old Patrick, you know, the one who loved Lindsay so much, you know. All right. Here we go. Let me get it as big as I can for you guys. Did I share it on screen? Yes. Okay. I'll make it as big as we can here. That one.
Yeah. I'll take that comment off. I'll find it now. Yeah. Done.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Watch your ears. I can't control your volume.
I wasn't married to a monster. I was married to someone who got sick. That is what Patrick Clancy told the New Yorker about his wife, Lindsay, who is accused of killing their 3 children. In a sit-down interview with the publication, Lindsay Clancy's husband outlines the months and the days leading up to the killings and his current feelings for his wife. Now, Patrick is saying in part about the killings, quote, "There's no house anymore. There are no kids. All that's left is me and Lindsay. If I could go back in time, I'd have called McLean, which is a psychiatric facility, and said, take her away, lock the door, keep her in there for a year if you have to." He goes on to say that Lindsay misses her kids, which I know sounds crazy to some people, but that is the reality. Now, Lindsay Clancy is currently being held in a psychiatric hospital awaiting her murder trial. So we're asking, will Patrick's statements in that article potentially help save his wife's case? Here to discuss, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Franz Borghardt, criminal defense attorney and civil rights attorney Casey Early, and trial attorney, former prosecutor Randolph Rice. Good morning to you all. Randolph, let me begin with you, please. What are your thoughts on whether Patrick Clancy can help affect Lindsay Clancy's case in any way?
Well, I certainly think that he sets the stage for her mental condition prior to the murders. And I certainly think he helps her a little bit. You know, if I'm a defense attorney in this case, I'm thinking about jury selection. And I think that's going to be very important. They're going to want to maybe put some mothers on that jury. Some people, they're going to be sympathetic. But Patrick certainly is going to play a big part in not only the time that led up to the murder, but also what he believes or how he feels, because they may be sympathetic to that. Now, the flip side of that is obviously there's 3 kids dead. So the jury will have to obviously weigh that against the 3 kids being dead.
Right, most certainly, Randolph. I know all of our hearts break thinking about this. So tragic, and certainly a big mental health component. Postpartum depression is what was apparently going on, and it was happening during the third pregnancy. Casey, your thoughts on how the mental health aspects of this case can possibly affect the legal outcome for Lindsay Clancy?
It definitely is important. Good morning, Julie. But I also believe that her mental defect or illness prior to the alleged incident is what's more important, as opposed to her mental illness after, because there's testimony and there's evidence that she was admitted into the hospital, stayed a few days, and then ultimately discharged. And I think that's where that statement comes from, that he wished that she would have stayed longer. But I would actually would love to have mothers who actually is willing to discuss postpartum depression. Oftentimes, no one is willing to talk about it. It's frowned upon because of cases like this. And I think that, it's not unusual for a husband, spouse to forgive a loved one because that's all he has left. This will be a difficult case, but his testimony will definitely be beneficial for the defense.
Casey, thank you for that, in particular for the points on postpartum depression. You're right. It's a topic that's tough to talk about for some reason, and we need to do more of that. So appreciate that. Franz, last but certainly not least, I want to ask you, how do you foresee this case playing out? It's in the court system. We know there's a large mental health component. We know we also have 3 homicides. How do you think the end result may be here?
So one of the things that we're going to see as this develops is we're going to see some dueling expert witnesses. Both sides will have experts that get to mentally evaluate her. And I think it's important to know that in most states, even if you're found not guilty by reason of some kind of insanity, albeit a temporary insanity, it's not necessarily a get out of jail free card. Many states have mechanisms in place to secure mental health treatment and safety to both the accused and to society, if in fact she's acquitted based on that. So it's not a get out of jail free card, so to speak. Now, what it may be is it may be a light at the end of the tunnel if she's acquitted based on a sanity component or issue. Does she become stabilized at some point to where she may have a chance at freedom? These are all questions, but I think first and foremost, it's going to be some dueling experts that are testifying as to postpartum, as to what she had, what she didn't have. And I think those are going to all play themselves out both in court pretrial and before a jury.
I think you're exactly right. You all made great points here. We'll continue following this heartbreaking case.
Listen, I couldn't. Okay, June, it's good seeing you. She probably was doing this all along and stayed at home with the kids. It's tough being a full-time parent, one parent going to work, and you're staying home all this time. It's lots, but no excuse to do that. Yes. Listen, I'm getting madder and madder when it comes to Patrick. That's all I'm going to say. Because I just looked up to see if we could see their graves, and the kids' graves are in a private place. They won't be able to be kept private for long, you guys, after this trial. But just because people know, right, and it gets put out there, and then it gets put on Find a Grave, and I can pull them up. So, and they already know what town they're in. So many people probably already know where they're buried. They had a private funeral, and Patrick wrote the eulogy. How nice. But I'm getting more pissed by the moment here. I mean, he couldn't even see the deaths through of his own children before he went to go live a happy life.
This is in the Daily Mail. Inside new life of Lindsay Clancy's husband and fertility doctor wife, family reveals touching text, intimate wedding details, and happy photos as ex stands trial for murder of their 3 children. And that's in the Daily Mail. I haven't found the story. That's just the headline. So I need to find that story.
Well, I guarantee you it's going to be brought up. We will know. Now, we may not be able to 100% prove that he was having an affair, but y'all, something ain't mixing right here. It's just not mixing right here to me. Like I said, I don't think he wanted his children dead, but I don't think he minded his wife killing. There's just too much neglect going on all the way around. And then mommy stepping out for him saying, well, my son has to move on with his life. She's going her way. She's not going anywhere. She's sitting in a wheelchair. Bitch ain't moving fast. Okay. She's sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, knowing she killed her kids. So listen, if you didn't love your wife that much, to stick with her through sickness and in health, and you're the one that says it's sickness, that killed your kids. I just think he's a fucking punk, and I can't stand him. I'm pissed at him. I really am. In fact, I think I'm holding him more accountable. What's the date? Tell me what you got.
Okay, let's read it right from the top.
The math.
So, Patrick Clancy has remarried Dr. Rachel Danis, a 37-year-old fertility specialist and reproductive embryologist following the divorce from Lindsay. Relocation: Patrick moved from Massachusetts to a midtown Manhattan high-rise in New York City in May 2023, 4 months after the tragic deaths of his 3 children.
4 months! Hold up!
Listen. Oh, you've got to listen.
Y'all. Go ahead, Maggie.
So he's been carrying on with it. Something's been going on since then, because Patrick and Rachel got married in April this year in an intimate ceremony at the historic Ladies Pavilion overlooking the lake in Central Park, followed by a celebration at Sarah Bath's. Relatives and friends shared with the Daily Mail that Patrick has rebuilt his life through faith, long-distance running, charity work, and Rachel's support. Testimony: despite their divorce and the 2023 tragedy, Patrick has publicly stated he forgives his ex-wife, noting she was suffering from severe medical illness and is expected to testify during her ongoing murder trial. So why did you divorce her?
Why did you divorce her?
Nothing was wrong in your marriage.
Nope.
You
nothing.
believe
It's just
everything.
Happy. Yeah.
Why did you
everything.
divorce? It just doesn't feel, that's not right, is it? I'm not saying he's wrong for doing what he's doing. They had a very happy marriage. Apparently, he told the police, this is something else I've just read quick, that him and Lindsay text at least 10 times a day and told each other they loved each other loads through the day.
Yeah, that's the kind of man I want to be married to, right there.
So
that's the kind of that's an upstanding man. Why tell the police that?
I just don't. Something's not right.
I'll tell you what's not right to me is that the only reason he has to support her is because he's got a possible lawsuit.
Yeah.
If he goes against her, then he's accusing her alone of killing his kids. If he stays with her story and with the story, nope, she was over-medicated, the doctors are neglectful here, he has got his own lawsuit. Here's what else is funny. When Patrick gave that interview to the New York Times, the only interview he ever gave, he said Lindsay misses her kids. Now, if your kids were dead, wouldn't you claim them even more? Wouldn't you be like, our kids or my kids? Lindsay misses my kids. I mean, when you lose something, it becomes yours even more, especially in death. My mom. Like, I'll be talking to my sister and I'm like, it's my mom this, my mom that. She became even more mine when she left me. You know what I mean? So I will never understand that she misses her kids. No matter how strange that sounds, it's reality. Fuck you and your reality. You don't. I'm sorry. I'm calling punk. I'm calling.
How far is Massachusetts from where they lived? I just want to know why you went there and how far it is.
Girl, you act like I know GA.
I think you do.
America genealogy.
I think America's tiny, and you can tell
Let's
me.
see, Massachusetts. Where did they say they were? What did they say they were in Massachusetts? But let's just do Boston. Boston to Manhattan.
Let's find out where he lived.
By drive, it is 3 hours and 34 minutes. Oh, goody. He can still go back and see his kids' graves afterwards. How nice. That's so nice.
I
Fuck you,
couldn't
Patrick.
bury my kids
Shoot,
there that quick, 4 months after, and then move away.
It's
I feel
212
like I was
miles.
leaving
Leaving
them
your kids.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now,
couldn't bear it.
I understand there are people that, they can't,
Of
especially
course.
kids that have been killed or a loved one that's been killed. You just can't stand
Mhm.
to stay in that area anymore. You've got to leave, because that's the kind of association I have with things. Like if something goes bad in a certain place, I have disassociation with it. So I
Yeah.
can't let myself go back. You know what I mean? Because something bad happened there. So I understand that kind of disassociative stuff when it comes to being, having some trauma. But I'm sorry, there's no way I would have left my children until this was said and done. And I don't care if it took 10 years. I would have told my doctor girlfriend up there, like, hey, we're just gonna, we're just gonna meet in the middle. And take us about 2 hours each. We'll meet in the middle at a nice hotel, 3 times a week or every day. I don't care. But I would have seen this through with my kids. And I know not everybody's like that. Some people, for their own mental health, have got to go. But I think this has a lot more to do with being a selfish prick
Okay.
than anything else.
He was with her anyway. It says there wasn't any reports of them being romantically together, but they were publicly together and sharing a passion for fitness by early 24. Oh my God.
Early 24, and the kids
Yeah.
died in early
The end
23.
of February 2024, photos emerged showing the couple hiking, running, and
February
working out together.
2024, the
So let's
kids
see.
died. Didn't they die December's? No.
Was
They
it near
died.
the end of the year, wasn't it?
It was
Hang on,
the
that I was
end of the
reading
year.
there. Let me go back to the timeline. Hang on, I've got it here. Right, let me go to the very beginning. So, the ends, I mean.
Bye, Tosh. Love
January
you,
6th.
sister.
See you,
Have a good day
Tosh.
at work.
So the
I
last
thought Miss
timeline
June
was
leaving.
January 23, 2025. Hang on. 2025. And what did that say there? Let me get that back up. He was seen with her in February 2024. So, something being going on then, hadn't it?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the exact. It was the 24th of something that the kids. I've got it on my phone. Hold on.
What is it you're looking for? Because I've got the dates
I'm
up
looking
here.
for the date that the kids died. The 24th
Well, the
of.
day before the murder, 24th of January, 2025. So what I'm saying is,
No, it
he
wasn't.
was see,
Okay. Wait. What day was the kids killed?
24th. It says here January 23rd. This is the day before the murder.
All right. Yeah, they were killed on the 24th of
January
in what year?
25.
No, it happened. No, that was just last year. It
Say
happened in 23.
2020. Well, must have,
2023.
must have it wrong then. Because it's got 25 there, yeah. So it must be 23. Saying 25 there. The day before the murder.
2023. Okay, and then what did you say? In May they were seen? No, May he moved, right?
Yeah, February. So
He
it
moved
says, yeah, it says, hang on. Show they were publicly together and sharing a passion for fitness, early 24. Then it says, in May, Patrick relocated to Manhattan just 4 months after the family tragedy. February 24th. So how many months is that? February 24th. After what? January, February, March.
April, May.
April, May. hang on. No. January. So it's only, it's the following year, isn't it? January. So spouses came out then. They were together hiking and running and working out together. So they were obviously in a relationship. November 25, the couple were photographed posing together at the New York City Marathon. And then they got married in April, the couple officially in a Central Park ceremony. So January 23, and then he was early in February 24th. Wow.
So he leaves February 24th.
That's when he's seen with her. They were running and so he moved in May. The kids were murdered January 24, 2023. In May 23, just 4 months after, he moved to Manhattan. And
no,
then,
May 24. Because if we moved to May 23, that was before the kids were dead.
This is what it's saying here, May 2023. 4 months after.
Oh, January. Okay, yeah. So May. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then, so that was 23 in May. So the coming February, that's when all the photos come out of them being together and working out together.
So February of 2025 or 2024?
24.
Oh my God.
The following year. Wasn't even a year. Wasn't even a year. It was what?
Yeah,
So
it was a year because
November, December, January, February, 9 months.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, from when the kids were killed on January 24th, 2023, then it shows them together for the first time in February 2024. That's 13 months.
Yeah, so the year, yeah.
So
1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
this is.
So something's been going on.
Yep.
I mean, because he's a fitness fanatic and so was she.
Yep.
He's met her way before he's met her while he's been with Lindsay.
Yep, I agree with that. Listen, they could have met at one of these 5K things or through a fitness thing, but I just think it's too close. I think we will find out in trial, how they ended up meeting, because I think, I mean, listen, the prosecution could use that, well, he was having an affair. And Lindsay, when did you find out about it? Oh, this day. And then the kids got killed on this day. Okay. You know what I mean? I could see the prosecution like throwing that in there that adds more stress to her and led to this, I don't understand why we don't hold everybody accountable. I mean, everybody wants to say it takes a village. I don't necessarily think it takes a village. I was living in Germany 2 times by myself with a military man and 3 kids, and no village helped me. No, I don't think it takes a village. But if you want to say it, then all that village needs to go ahead and be prosecuted for neglecting this woman and their children. Shame on them. Brittany says, I had my dogs cremated because if I ever moved, I didn't want to leave them. I couldn't imagine leaving my children.
Yeah.
That's right. He needs to be charged with something. Someone's neglectful. Someone is neglectful here. All right, I've got one more thing to bring up, you guys. And then I think we're set for. I think we kind of got an understanding on both sides what was going on.
So I've set it for 2 my time. Tomorrow's that race.
Yep. Let's listen to the parents.
No, 2. Is it 2 my time? Yeah. 7 your time. Oh God.
No.
Talk to me after the live.
That's 9 o'clock my time. That's right. You're right. You're right.
I'm a race.
And if it goes a little bit earlier, I'll check and make sure it doesn't run at 8, but I don't think it
ring
does.
Me.
Then I'll be on and I'll ring Mags. All right. So let's go ahead and watch. This is the last thing I brought up. I wanted you guys to see her lawyer, because he's the one that brings up her parents. And I'm sorry, parents, you suck. On both sides, both of you sucks. Everybody sucks in the whole situation to me. As far as I know right now, It all sucks. Hi, Siggy. Siggy says hi to you, Leanie, and just wanted to say, Maggie, that I'm always
Hi,
thinking
Siggy.
about her. God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank
Oh,
you. It's
thanks,
good to see you
Diggy.
too,
Nice to
Janice.
see you.
We
Take care,
appreciate you.
chicken.
Brittany says, I think my mind has been changed. Thank you for all the info. I think we needed it, right? That way we can, because I think I got an understanding of the way both sides are thinking now. And right now, I'm Team Lindsay. Right now, I want to go
Me
kick
too.
Patrick's ass. That's what I want to do. I want to start with him and then the grandparents. All right, let's listen to her parents and what her lawyer says. We appreciate him bringing the parents on. Yeah. And remember, these are Lindsay's parents.
Why?
I would like to have Mom come right over here with me and Dad. This is Lindsay's mom and dad. We're here today to support her. Yeah, we are. So,
Where do we stand, Ken?
in the
scope of things.
From the Superior Court.
We got a trial coming up, and how close
July.
are we to be ready?
July. It's going to go in July. Yep.
So we put off 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah, you know me, but I mean, if I say we're going to go, it's going to go.
Why do you want? Why is there an effort to bifurcate it?
Only because it makes sense if you think about it. You know, you have the facts of the case, and respectfully to the DA, you know, they want to just beat the drum on the facts of the case, all of these cases, to focus on the facts of the alleged crime or the crime, as opposed to what I feel is most important, which is the state of mind of the person, and you get into all of that testimony from the doctors and the testing. So you have the first part of the trial, the allegations and the evidence on the alleged crime. Then you have the rest of the trial would be on the issue of whether or not there's a lack of criminal responsibility.
This is the first time Lindsay's been here in person.
Yeah.
Why now? And it seems like she's going to be here for
Because I'm very protective of her, and I don't want her to be stressed. And I know it's a very emotionally draining thing, and she's nervous and scared. And I want her to gradually acclimate so that she knows. And it went off perfectly. I mean, the court officers, the Tewksbury people, the sheriff's department, fantastic. I mean, everybody worked together. It really worked out well.
How's she doing?
Not that good, you know. I mean, but it's been a while, and she's reached the position that she's, I think, going to be in.
How important will the state's testing of your client be, Kevin, you think, to the scope of the case?
Probably not that important when I get finished with them.
Oh.
Is that why you're videotaping it?
Yeah.
You just want to see exactly how it's done?
Yeah. I mean, I have my doctors, they have their doctors, and then it's up to a jury to decide credibility.
That's the crux of this case.
Yes, that's why we want the bifurcation. Yeah.
Why? When you say she's not doing that good, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because she's living with her life, which sucks.
You were somewhat critical of the sheriff's office in the lead up to Lindsay being brought here in person. You know, sort of what changed your mind today?
When I saw the effort that they were putting into really, you know, trying to do a good job, do the right thing, and they were very, very attentive and helpful to her. Yeah.
And how was it for you to have her actually physically here, and how was it for her to be here?
For me, I'm fine with it because I want her, anytime I have a case, I want the client to be immersed in the case and know what's going on. You know, and I want to have them have the support of family, you know, private investigator Bob Jones, Dr. Zeisel, and our team, if you will, all are here to help her. But for her to be here, I think is very helpful as opposed to Zoom. I don't like Zoom.
Kevin, does the prosecution have the?
What's that?
There's all discussion about ambulance versus.
Yes, the Tewksbury and working together with transportation, you know, determined that she did not have a need for an ambulance, so it was a van, and it worked out very well.
Kevin, does the prosecution have the option of withholding the results of their expert exam? They have to present
Oh, no, they have to. Yeah, it comes under, the whole process comes under a case of Cromwell versus Blaisdell, Blaisdell, and it says when the defense raises the defense of lack of criminal responsibility, meaning the defense has to have an evaluation. You have an expert or experts that would give their opinion. But if you have an expert that has an opinion predicated to some degree and based on statements of the defendant, then the government has a right to have them independently, quote unquote, examined. And that's what they do. So then the government picks their doctors. Those doctors interview her. I've had cases where they've decided that the person is suffering from a disease or defect and is not criminally responsible. You never know. Hope springs eternal.
Would you want your doctor to say a few words, or are you going to hold off on it?
I think we'll hold off now. He talks too much.
Can we ask Mom, can you just ask Mom to say something about her daughter?
Sure, go right
Tell us
ahead.
who your
She's
daughter is.
very well spoken. Come on, you're going to be fine.
She's a loving mother. She always has been. I can't say anymore.
How hard has this been for your family?
Excuse me?
How hard has this been for your family?
How hard do you think? Just imagine.
They have literally for 3 years been staying in a hotel it was pretty much every day, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, they're humble people from Connecticut, and they raise a nice family, and they have literally been in that hospital every single day for 3 years.
How do you think it's going to impact Lindsay to have to relive what happened at trial?
She doesn't know.
Can't say.
Dad, can we ask you the same thing? Just tell us about your daughter.
We love our daughter very much, and we're here just to support her any way we possibly can. That's it.
Your name is Paul, is it?
Mike.
I'm sorry, Mike. And last name?
Musgrove, yeah.
And your wife?
Paula.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what it's all.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, I've only got, can you guys hear me? Okay. I've only got one thing against that set of parents. Now, we found out in that interview that they live in Connecticut. Obviously, Lindsay and Big Daddy asshole Patrick, they lived in Massachusetts. I've got an even bigger problem with the fact that they said that since the kids died, they have lived in a hotel for the last 3 years. Well, that tells me that one of you or both of you could have come and got these kids and let her get the help she needed for 3 years, because 3 years is still going to happen, right? Whether the kids died or not. So I'm not trying to be mean. I just want everybody who's got a responsibility in this to take the responsibility. You've been living in a hotel for 3 years so you could stay next to your daughter who murdered your grandchildren, and you knew that she was struggling with some kind of mental disability, and that she had suicidal ideations and ideations of hurting her children, and you didn't come for 3 years to take care of your kids or your daughter while Patrick goes and moves out with his kids. They failed these kids. They all did, and they all have to take the responsibility. Listen, they're parents of the year right now because they've, but you weren't grandparents of the year. I'm sorry.
Lenny.
Yes?
They've recently had a baby boy.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So they did have a baby together?
So Lindsay Clancy's lawyer confirmed today that Patrick Clancy is remarried to an IVF specialist, and they have just recently had a baby boy.
I don't
I've
even
got
know
a
what to
picture of
say.
the wedding. If you click on it, it goes off because the moderator has apparently removed it. But do you want to have a look?
Yeah, I
know. I can't get over
I don't know
it.
what to
It's
say about
weird.
that. You didn't even finish
Feel a bit
with your
sick.
with your babies who are dead. At least get through trial. Get through trial. Let them rest. Let their names not have to be mentioned in a negative way ever again. And then go live your life. I mean, I'm so sad for those. I'm even more sad for the children now because they could have been saved. And that happens, and that's with most murders, right? Isn't that the truth with most murders? Something could have been done in hindsight, but that doesn't even take hindsight. As a grandparent, look, my kids can do whatever the hell they want to do. They're grown, but you're not going to mess with my babies. Those are my babies too. I just didn't give birth to them, but they're my blood. And I'm telling you what, you two go figure your shit out, and I'm taking my babies home. You're welcome to come and visit, have dinner with us at the dinner table, but the children are staying with me. Or I'll move into your house. You guys go move into my house, and you guys figure it out. I don't care how we do it, but you're not going to be around these children until this is all figured out. I mean, I'm sorry. Everybody needs to take responsibility. Oh, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed.
Can you see that, Lee?
I can see a bunch of them.
Yeah, it won't let when you
Oh,
click on.
yeah. Okay, I
Can
can
you
see where your cursor is. Yes. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to open them, but it's
So
saying removed
that's-
by the moderator.
That's
Right, okay, so
is
this
that
is
him now? Patrick Clancy and new wife. Oh, how nice. She's even wearing white.
let me
Fuck
turn
off.
the sound off. Oh,
This is terrible, you guys. This is terrible.
no, I can't get over it.
I mean, listen, if this is the way it goes down in court, you guys, this poor woman. This poor woman. Oh, those poor kids, this poor woman, and this doofus ass is going to go live a happy life with his new wife in Manhattan and their kid. Fuck off. This case is going to piss me off.
We're going to be having our nervous fucking breakdown through this. Why is that on now? Oh, can't get over it. So there they are. There. And then here she is. That's it.
We can't say anything, honey.
Her
But
hair's longer now. She looks a bit like Lindsay, I think.
Everybody is now. I had heard that a couple months back, where people were saying he's remarried, and everybody was like, "No, we can't see anything on except for what you're." We can't.
There, that picture there.
I don't even see your cursor.
Can you see the picture I'm showing?
Can't see your cursor. You're showing all of the pictures before you hit.
Oh, it's still on. Hang on, I'm on the wrong one.
But
can you see now? Can you see him in here?
She does, and that's
Now
what
look.
that. Yeah, they do look alike.
Doctor there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Beautiful
Oh my
teeth.
God.
I'm always looking.
And
at
there's a
these teeth
picture of
now.
her pregnant as well.
Oh, is that her pregnant? Not that I blame her for being pregnant. Okay, good. Congratulations.
Trying
Sorry.
to find where it's gone now.
But not to
Did you
Patrick.
see?
I am not congratulating Patrick. Fuck off, Patrick. Fuck off. You dickhead. Brittany is saying, okay, wait. Misty says, I was angry at that poor lady at first. Me too. Brittany says, I think the only reason Patrick is saying he supports Lindsay is so he won't look like such an ass. Yeah, and if this does turn out that she was neglected by her doctors and her doctors failed her, he's got a lawsuit coming next against him.
Well, they're all saying in this, I feel like he was cheating. So
I think he was cheating.
Yeah, I do
These
too.
parents
now.
act guilty. Yeah, I think Daddy has got more. I like I said, I don't think he wanted his
I'll do
kids
this.
dead, but he didn't care that his wife was dead.
No, he wasn't interested.
He didn't care. I think she does look like Lindsay too. That's weird, isn't it? Siggy says, I don't know the case, but I believe in justice, especially for the children. Yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. And I just think he's a little man. He could not even wait to let his babies rest, to get this. Not that they're not resting. I believe they're in the hands of God. You know, they don't know what's going on, but just their names, the respect that they were humans. They were here. They deserve for their father to see this through one way or another, whether their mom's guilty or whether it's against the doctors for over medicating her. I don't know, but he was their father. He should have finished seeing this through, because to me, even though I don't believe, that they're in a grave somewhere, their bodies are, but their souls are with Jesus. I firmly believe that. But as a parent, like, the last thing I would be thinking about is going and doing the boom boom and the boots knocking with somebody else while my babies are laying in a cold grave somewhere. And nobody's even being held responsible yet for it. Shame on you. You're a shitty dad. Fuck off. His intention may have been to drive her nuts so she unalived herself, but it backfired when she took the kids. Exactly. Yeah, because I'm sorry. The parents, they all acted like they didn't give a damn about Lindsay's medical issues. They could have had
just
her.
been said there, he would have gone on longer and said nothing to anyone.
Yeah, but now he's being forced to, because all the trials,
exactly.
all of the presumptive trials and things like that started happening. So he had to come out because all that shit was going to come out. But it's been reported for over a year, but nobody could prove it because they can't find any marital records or divorce papers. Well, I'm sure the divorce was sealed. I just can't believe this, you guys. Well, you know what? Listen, we've done our due diligence, I think, Maggie. I hope that you guys were able to see that too. I hope we've given a pretty clear understanding of what is going on here and why this case is so important, mainly for these children. I got nothing for the dad right now. Maybe I'll eat my words later. Well, I don't mind doing that at all. But mainly for these children, maybe for this mom who actually did kill her kids, and maybe she was felled. We won't know until the end. And but I feel like we've done it as well as we can, explaining both sides of it. Because at first we were really pissed off with mom for killing the kids, right? And then all of a sudden things just started looking way different. And Patrick Daddy here, he's no saint. He's no saint. Brittany, I think it starts between 8 and 9. It wasn't put up on the courts yet when I looked, but I will find out after this, and we will adjust the time accordingly. And you can bet we'll be here. We will be here. Now, like I said, you guys, tomorrow starts opening arguments tomorrow. Tuesday, court is out, because even before they had this case ready to go, there was something that was important that somebody has to do. The judge or one of the lawyers already had a previous engagement, a funeral or something that is going on Tuesday. So they will not be in court Tuesday. It will resume Wednesday. And me, Maggie, or both of us will be here. And if not, I'll have this going. You guys come on over here, jump in chat, say what you want to say.
As soon as anything's on, we'll be on.
We will be here.
I've just all the pictures of the grave has just come up outside.
Did you find the grave?
It's just come up now, yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, show it, because I went and looked at Find a Grave, but it wasn't out yet. But it doesn't surprise me that everything's gotten out now. Can you visit that site?
Hang on, is that the grave? Is it the grave, or is it just people putting flowers?
Child killings. Oh, that's probably, because the house is in the background, Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. So you can see the house in the background.
I thought that just come up. I wasn't even searching for it. I was just searching for them. I think it's the,
yeah, if you go all the way back up to the top, the big one up top, you can see a house in the background back there.
Yeah.
That's their house. So that's their memorial. And it's so beautiful. It is. Y'all, heartbreaking.
Isn't it?
All right, let's see. Thank you for remembering this. Karma will always take over when it counts. All right, I will try to make it. Thank you for allowing me to come in your chat. Maggie, you sound absolutely amazing. And Leanie, wishing you many blessings. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. All right, y'all. Now I've given you something to lose sleep over because I know for myself, I've got chill bumps and I want to go beat the hell out of this man. And I don't know if he's guilty of everything that I've charged him with, that I have charged him with, not only charged him with, but I have deemed him guilty of. And as far as I'm concerned, I get to sentence him.
Well,
to
he
not
definitely
not
could
a
have done
happy life.
more.
He should,
There's not.
yes, he could have.
He definitely could have done more ends off. Definitely.
And
You should
his
have
mama,
dragged her to that ER. I would have.
that's right. And his
And the
mama can
mothers.
shove it right up her ass.
Yeah.
The mother who said, well, my son's got to go on with his life. Fuck you. Fuck
Yeah.
you. We got to finish up the babies' lives first. Have up their lives, and then we'll move on. Oh, you guys, I'm aggravated. I gotta
Let's
go
see if
because
our
I'm a-
minds are changed anymore with this trial starting tomorrow, day one. So it
Day
is
one.
scheduled, guys. Everything's scheduled. If there's any changes, it'll change. The schedule will change. Just keep looking at the times. Click your bell. Make sure just do it again, just in case, because people have been having issues being notified about the lives.
Yes,
so just
and
have a quick look.
even our sweet Melly Joe found out why she was not getting
Yeah.
her notifications, because somehow it got switched to priorities or something, whatever it says. There's three different. They're all,
You can get all or just
and make sure
certain
your
ones.
all is clicked, because somehow Mel's got switched just by itself. And so when she did it, she started getting her notifications again. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bring your coffee for those of you that are in the United States. Bring your coffee. Be ready to take this on. And let's try to come with an open mind, even though mine's closed. And
start afresh tomorrow.
I'm
We'll
passionate
take the
about
details,
stuff.
yeah.
Passionate. Yep.
Oh yeah,
All right.
it's
So
so sad, them poor kids. It really is. They've been definitely being failed by the dad as well. I'm sorry, but
thank y'all for being here so much. Maggie, I'm going to let you shut it down.
Okay, love.
Love you guys so much. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. And no,
Love
I
you,
will
Lee.
still be in my jammies and I won't have a bra on. So you're welcome to come like
well,
that.
we're not
or
on
two.
cam, so
That's
I'll
right.
be
If
exactly
we're on
the
cam, I
same.
will dress up like Gisela
Yeah,
K.
I'll be a
No, I
Olympian,
won't.
yeah.
I'll wear my leggings to court. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. See you guys next time. See you in the morning. Bye, guys. Bye, Mags. Love you so much.
See you later, Lee.
Bye.
Love you. Bye, Gail. Just check that we're all right on the schedule for tomorrow. It's already gone. Thanks everyone for coming. I just can't believe it. What I've learned tonight, I'm absolutely shocked beyond. My mouth's dry. I've got a cup of coffee waiting here, but my mouth is dry with the shock. I really can't believe how much that girl cried for help, and now, not one doctor she's seen in all of that. How awful was that? I mean, he's intelligent enough to know that girl, if your spouse, partner, whatever, is struggling like that, I couldn't bear it. I'd have to get help. Whether she wanted it or not, I'd have to get her help. Because when you've got 3 babies as well, you need to be careful. If the mum goes down, it all goes down. She's the main provider, isn't she, for babies in the house and everything else? That's what it normally is. I'm not being sexist or anything, but it's just, I just feel he could have done a lot more, and so could the family. Mum, his mum, should have stepped in, especially his mum being a nurse and knowing about this thing. Okay, she asked for one therapist to step in. Surely they could have had it in detail and said, listen, she needs to see someone else. She's got 3 babies there. She's having these thoughts. I'm worried. Isn't that the normal thing to do? It's just so sad. Anyway, thanks all for coming in. Stiggy, thanks for coming in. I always remember you too, Stig. I don't forget you. And you stay good, Stiggy. And I love you too. You take care. And you're welcome to come to the live and have a listen anytime you want. Well, you've always treated me kind, Stiggy. So it goes both ways. I don't have any problems with you at all, love. You speak to me with respect and I'll speak right back to you with respect. It's how it goes, isn't it? We've all got our ideas of life and everyone's is different, and you just got to respect that you won't believe what I believe and vice versa. And that's how people get on, isn't it? But thank you, Stiggy. I'm sending you a big love, a big hug, and you take care. And again, thanks for coming in. Brittany, it was lovely to see you. I can't believe this case. I can't believe it. I can't wait for the trial to see what happens. It's just awful, isn't it, Brissy? Misty, I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for coming in as well. She said his intention may have been to drive in. I thought that before. When I was looking at the pictures, I was thinking, was he trying to drive it down the bend? So she, she'd do herself in. You never thought about the kids. It backfired, yeah? Yeah. I don't know the case, but I believe in justice, especially for the children. Yeah, it's awful, Stiggy. You need to look her up. Lindsay Clancy, this trial starts tomorrow if you want to watch it, but it's going to be very interesting. Brissy, anyway, thank you for coming in, love. I'm just looking to see who else was here. Pink, don't know whether you're still here, girl. Why is these there's some comments that are like sort of really pale and others are very, very bright. Is that because they've gone or something? I don't know how that works. If you're still here, June, good to see you too, Toshi or Trashy, whatever. Speak to you all soon. Love you all. Take care and see you tomorrow. Don't forget to check your bell, because you never know if it's not on important things or whatever, or just go and check it, because everyone's having problems with YouTube with one thing or another. There's like, it's showing the amounts watching the lives low when they're not. So there's a few crazy things that are happening. So just keep your eye on that. Ciao, Stig. See you soon. God bless you and yours as well. Take care, love. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Life is hard and life is wild. It can be sad or full of smiles. And every once in a while, you need a break from the mundane. So come back to see your friend, or she'll wonder where you've been. According to Leanie, she appreciates you and all that you do. You need her, but she needs you, and that's the beauty of according to Leanie. So thank you for your time. You are a friend of mine. I'll be happy to see you again on the next According to Leanie. Be good or be good at it. Until next time, love Leanie, love Leanie, love Leanie. Next time, love Leanie, love Leanie. Life is hard and life is wild. It can be sad or full of smiles. And every once in a while, you need a break from the mundane. So come back to see your friend, or she'll wonder where you've been. According to Leanie, she appreciates you and all that you do. You need her, she needs you, and that's the beauty of according to Leanie. Be good or be good at it. Until next time, Lovely, lovely.